Go. Here we go. Here we go.
Number 15, J.J. Reed.
Cool. Should be live as soon as this is open here.
We good?
As soon as this shows up.
The land of enchantment, Farmington, New Mexico, plays host here tonight as the Boulder Collegians travel south to take on the Farmington Frackers. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Ricketts Park, the home of the Connie Mack World Series here in Farmington, New Mexico. Ethan Jordan alongside you, producer, engineer Mitch Sanchez, and J.J. Reeves currently at the plate for the Collegians. A 1-1 count on Reeves, the leadoff man, the usual leadoff man for the Collegians. We'll watch one go to the backstop, and it's 2-1 on J.J. Reeves. Riley Owen takes the hill here today for the Frackers, here in the first of a 3-game set between the Collegians and Farmington. They'll play one here tonight, another tomorrow, and then the next day, one on Saturday. All game times are 7 o'clock, as this is here tonight. 2-1 pitch is high, and Reeves has run it to 3-1 now. JJ out of Regis University in Denver, Colorado. Left-handed hitter against the right-handed throwing Riley Owen. Reeves getting the start in center field tonight, and he'll foul one away. So a full count here to J.J. Reeves to begin the ball game. Collegians coming off of their second win of the season. They recorded that Tuesday afternoon against the Colorado Rough Riders. 3-2 count on J.J. Reeves leading off the ball game. Payoff pitch, and missed high and outside, and Reeves draws the free pass. So J.J., as he so usually is aboard here to lead off the ball game. He's been very good out of the leadoff spot for the Collegians this season, getting on base at a pretty good clip. So here's Hunter Hudson now. Hudson, the switch hitter man, hitting from the left side here with Riley Owen, the right-hander on the hill. Reeves runs well at first. Hudson, the DH here tonight, does some catching, and I'm sure we'll see him catch here in the series, but they wanted to keep his bat in the lineup. First pitch to him misses high. So he's DHing. Can play first base as well. Turner Davis, the man behind him, is at first tonight. Tonight is opening night for the Frackers here at Ricketts Park. Their first game of the season. 1-0 delivery is high. Team entering their third season are the Frackers. They won the Stan Musial World Series in their first inaugural season. Knocked out in the semis last year. This one fouled away by Hudson towards that Fracker dugout on the third base line. Looking to make it back to the World Series this year and perhaps win it again. 2-1 count to Hunter Hudson. J.J. Reeves at first base. He drew a walk. This one right on the black. And the count even at 2-2. Riley Owen is out of Texas A&M, Texarkana. 6'8", junior. Just finished up his junior year. Weighs 220 pounds. Some pretty big presence out there on the mound. The 2-2. Called strike 3. A fastball that froze Hunter Hudson, and he has gone on strikes for the first out. It ran inside on Hudson a little bit. He thought it was in, home plate maybe up. The home plate umpire thought otherwise, and he's gone on strikes. So here's Turner Davis. Davis, the power bat in the middle of this Collegians lineup. Has one home run so far this year. And for a guy who hits for a lot of power, he can really poke the ball the other way. That's what he's been best at so far here this season. The first pitch to him misses high. Georgia natives in from the right side here. 1-0 count on him, and Reeves at first. Big swing and a miss at a fastball that he chased high, and the count even at 1. Collegians lineup looks like this. Following Davis will be Chris Jimenez, Brennan Rosell, Roselle, Kelby Richardson, Nick Arrivo, Jimmy Hollinger, and Kix Farrell. We'll look over to first from Riley Owen. Reeves not all that far off the bag, and he's back in time. Probably has another step or so if he wants it. He was able to just go back standing. 1-1 to Davis. This one's hit into right field. That's going to fall for a base knock. Reeves digging hard around second base. He'll try for third. The right fielder has some trouble with it, and Reeves is going to pull into third base standing up. Turner Davis, as we mentioned earlier, so good going the other way. He talks all the time about how he just wants inside pitches, but even when he's not given them, he does a nice job with it. Just muscles that one into right field for a base knock, and good base running from Reeves, who runs well, going first to third. Defensively for the Frackers, Eddie Reyes is behind the plate. Over at first base is Bryce Beck. Their second baseman is Parker De Pascal. Their shortstop, Luke Chung, as the first pitch is in for a strike to Chris Jimenez. Jimenez out of Long Beach State. Just joined the Collegians very recently, so has only played in a couple of games. In fact, only one. He played Tuesday, got the start at DH, came in to catch a little bit in that game as well, and hit well. He'll take one high. 1-1 on Chris Jimenez. Cody Magaha is over at third base, and rounding out the outfield for the Frackers is Marquise Glenn in left, Ethan Barker in center, and Dalen Pigford in right. So 1-1 on Chris Jimenez, runners at the corners, and one away. Jimenez will watch the one run there for a strike. 1-2 now to Chris. One-two offering. High in the air towards center field. Drifting a couple of steps back and making the catch is Barker. J.J. Reeves will tag, and he'll come in to score standing for the first run of the ball game. So it's a sacrifice fly for Chris Jimenez, and the Collegians are on the board first. It's 1-0 Boulder. Brennan Roselle will be the batter, another guy out of Long Beach State, and this will be his first game for the Collegians here today.
Shortstop, number 18, Brennan Roselle.
First pitch to Roselle. He takes it high and outside for ball one. Davis still at first for his single. One run already in the inning for Boulder. Roselle sends one towards that right center field gap. Coming in on it. No one's going to make the catch. It's down for a base knock. Davis was digging hard. He'll make it all the way up to third. So it's another single for the Collegians, and once again, the man at first goes first to third. Davis got a really nice read on that from first base, as he was able to see that one was going to drop. Oftentimes on a fly ball like that, you'll see a guy hang on, make sure it's not caught, but where Davis was at, he had a good angle to see that it was going to drop. And it was just up in the air for so long that it was an easy make for Davis over at first to go first to third. Now the runners are at first and third here for Kelby Richardson. Richardson watches one low and outside. Ball one to him. Richardson, who's struggled in the batter's box for most of the season, had what they hope is a breakout game for him against the Rough Riders, as he was able to record his first hit as a Collegian, and in that game as well for Kelby Richardson, he had a 3-for-5 effort. This one high again, and it's 2-0. 3-0, pardon me. So 3 balls and no strikes to Kelby Richardson. Runners at the corners and 2 away here in the top of the first inning. Collegians already up 1-0. Pitch to Owen. is called a strike. So 3-1 on Richardson. As Owen tries to work out of this inning with minimal damage. Owen gets away from the catcher. And Davis is going to try, and he will score. So on the pass ball, Turner Davis able to come in from third. And it's 2-0 Boulder now. Brennan Roselle moves up to second base on the play. And as that was ball 4, Kelby Richardson will head down to first. So with runners at first and second now and still 2 away, we'll see the pitching coach come out of the dugout, have a chat with his hurler, try and get this sorted out as he tries to work out of this inning. It all started with a walk to J.J. Reeves, who would later come around to score. Turner Davis had a single. Brennan Roselle had a single in his first at-bat as a Collegian, and Kelby Richardson drew the free pass. Owen was able to get the out against Hunter Hudson on the strikeout and then got Jimenez to fly out to center field, though it ended up being a sacrifice fly. So a much-needed out, but also netted the Collegians a run. So now it'll be Nick Arrivo trying to keep the inning going for the Collegians. Has a chance to drive in a run with a man at second and still 2 away. First and second for the Collegians. And Arrivo, the man they want at the plate in this situation. He's done a great job of getting on base thus far this season. This one goes to the backstop, and both runners are going to move up 90 feet. Throw down to third was errant, but the shortstop there to back it up. So now 2 runners in scoring position here for Nick Arrivo. And he's ahead, 1 ball and no strikes. Richardson runs pretty well out there at second base, should be able to score on any kind of hit. This one high, and it's 2-0 on Nick. Arrivo had another nice day for the Collegians against the Rough Riders, including an RBI triple. And this one misses high, and it's 3-0 to Nick Arrivo. He was 2 for 3 in that game, also reached base once on a walk and once on a hit by pitch. So was on base 4 times for the Collegians against the Rough Riders. And that's just about how it's been for him all season long. He's been terrific. 3-0. There for strike 1 on the outside part of the plate. Certainly nothing that Nick wanted to offer at on 3-0. So he just watches it go by and is going to take another pitch here. (3-1). Just missed off the inside part of the plate. Another good at-bat for Nick Arrivo. He draws the walk. And now the bases are loaded for Jimmy Hollinger. Hollinger will start at third base tonight. He's been the shortstop most of the season, but with the arrival of guys like Brennan Roselle, they're just trying to find a place to put him on the infield, as he's hit pretty well thus far. And he has a good glove out there as well. This one missed low and outside in that left-handed batter's box. So it's 1-0 on Jimmy Hollinger. Hollinger out of Metro State. (1-0 to him. Is low. It's 2-0. And these guys out there in the infield for the Collegians can play all over the infield. We've seen a couple different guys over at third base, Nick Hall among them. And that one inside, 3-0 now to Jimmy. So Riley Owen has started the last 2 batters he's faced with 3 balls. And so out to have a chat with him is the catcher, Eddie Reyes. So while Reyes and Owen get together, another look at Hollinger. Hollinger started his freshman year at Metro State, but with a coaching change, the coach wanted to get some of his guys some playing time, so Hollinger not as much playing time this past season for Metro. And so trying to work his way back into the starting lineup, getting good work in here with the Collegians. He just wants to take as many at-bats as possible, he said. So they're trying to keep him in the lineup, playing third base tonight. 3-0 count, walks a run, and that's exactly what it'll be here as Hollinger draws the free pass, that pitch over his head, and the Collegians have now struck for 3 in the inning, and the bases are still loaded. So with Hollinger aboard, here comes another one of those infielders who we said can play all over the place. It's Kix Farrell. Farrell starting at second base here tonight. He's been at second base most of the season, though we've seen him play some third base and a little bit of shortstop as well. Another conference out here on the mound. The guy's having to drive out from Boulder, and that is going to do it for Riley Owen here today. So his evening ends 2/3 of the way into the first inning. And so now we'll give you a look at the new pitcher. He's going to be a left-hander out there going against Farrell. And Farrell will be okay with that. But the base is still loaded for the Collegians here in the inning. They've already struck for 3 runs and have now gone through the order with Farrell, the 9-hole batter, up next. But we were saying earlier, the guys have had to drive down here from all the way from Boulder. It's about an 8-hour drive or so from Boulder to Farmington. And along the way, Kix Farrell, as well as his car mates, stopped at an elk ranch. Or so he told me. He said it was really cool. They got to get up pretty close to some elk at the ranch. So he also found a caribou, a shedded horn from a caribou that he's able to handle. Well, the drive a little more interesting for those guys coming down to Farmington. Tyler Jordan will be the pitcher on here for the Frackers. Local guy out of Roswell, New Mexico. Otero College is where he plays his ball during the regular season. Going into his junior year there at Otero. Left-handed pitcher with about a 3/4, maybe sidearm delivery. So that'll work in favor for Kix Farrell. So the ball coming from a left-hand sidearmer like that will run in on Farrell, maybe give him a better look at it. Bases are loaded for Kix. Richardson at third, Arrivo at second, and Hollinger at first. Good speed all around the base paths. First pitch to Farrell. Dances its way onto the outside corner for strike 1. Outfield hasn't played straight away, as is the infield here with the bases loaded and 2 away. And he'll foul this one away, and quickly it's 0-2. So Tyler Jordan getting ahead of the first man he's facing here out of the bullpen. I'm sure he didn't expect to come in this early in the ball game, especially on opening night. Still in the first inning, Collegians up 3-0. Chance to add more here with the bases loaded and 2 away. 0-2 to Kix Farrell is outside. Jordan looks in, trying to work out of some trouble here. 0-2 is outside. None of it his own trouble, as all these runs are tagged to Riley Owen. As are all the runners on base. Jordan just trying to work out of a mess here in the first. 2-2 count on Kix Farrell. He's 1 strike away from doing just that. Here's the pitch. Farrell pops this one high in the air towards center. This one is going to fall in for a base knock. Richardson will score easily, as does Arrivo. Into third goes Jimmy Hollinger. It's a 2-run single for Kix Farrell with 2 away here in the first. And Boulder leads it 5-0. The second hit of the inning, such hit of the inning where it was just kind of in on the hands and popped into left or right center field, but was able to find that outfield grass. So now back to the top of the order we go, and J.J. Reeves, who came in to score on a walk to begin this inning. Chance to drive in a run of his own here with runners on the corners and 2 away. Swings and misses as Jordan takes something off with the breaking ball. Reeves waved at it inside. 0-1 to Reeves. One just misses outside and perhaps a bit low. And I'm sure Reeves is one guy who's sad to see Riley Owen go, as now it's a tough assignment for him against Jordan, left on left, especially with that sidearm action. 1-1. Chopped high towards third. Up with it there and throwing out Reeves at first base is the third baseman Magaha, and that will end the inning. But not before the Collegians strike for 5. They lead it 5-0 as we head to the bottom of inning number 1. Here from Ricketts Park in New Mexico. We'll be right back. Back here at Ricketts Park in Farmington, New Mexico. A little road trip for the Collegians here this weekend as they head down here to New Mexico to face off against the Farmington Frackers. Collegians up 5-0 as we move on to the bottom of the first inning. Jake Olufsen takes the hill for Boulder. Olufsen's first pitch is high to Dalen Pigford for ball 1. And we have a question from my usual broadcast partner, Jake Shapiro, who couldn't make it down with us, and he asked, is batting around going through the order, all 9 guys, or 10 guys batting in the inning? This one popped high on the infield. Hollinger calling for it at third base. He'll come in on the cut of the grass and make the catch for the first out. So Pigford is retired. A good start on the mound for Jake Olufsen. But to go back to Jake's question, it's always been a curious thing. To me, I may have misspoke earlier. I don't remember what I said. But for me, going through the order is going through 9 guys, and batting around is having that 10th guy hit. I feel like you've got to connect it again in order to make it batting around. I know there will be plenty who disagree with me on that, but going through the order is 9 guys, batting around is 10. Luke Chung will be the batter now, and he takes one high for ball 1. As for the Collegians in the first inning, the point is moot as they went through the order and they batted around, with 10 guys coming to the plate. Olufsen out of Kansas Wesleyan as he brings the 1-0 home. This one lined towards left. Hardly having to move out there is Nick Arrivo. He makes the catch, and there are 2 away. So not only a good start on the mound for Olufsen, a quick one as he's retired the first 2 guys on only 4 pitches. Olufsen really wanting to get started quickly here today. He's had 1 appearance for the Collegians. He started against the Denver Browns on opening night, went 3 innings, and gave up 5 runs. The command just didn't quite seem to be there for Jake on opening night. See if he can settle in here in Farmington. Ethan Barker, the batter. Center fielder, swinging from the left side. Pitch in the dirt from Olufsen, and it's 1-0 on Barker. That's how he started the first two batters and then retired them on the next pitch. We'll see what he has here. As for the Collegians defensively, Chris Jimenez will get the start behind the plate. Turner Davis plays first base. Over at second is Kix Farrell. Jimmy Hollinger, the third baseman. Brennan Roselle, in his first game as a Collegian, will start at shortstop. Nick Arrivo in left. Reeves in center. And in right field, Kelby Richardson, that familiar outfield for the Collegians. 1-0 to Barker, and he fouls it away. Ethan Barker with the 1-1 count on him here. Barker is out of UNM. He's going into his sophomore year. From Midland, Texas. Choosing to stay here in New Mexico and play for the Frackers this summer. Olufsen, that look in over the glove. Pretty intimidating out there as he's a pretty big presence on the mound. The 1-1 is high and out of the glove of Jimenez. So we'll ask for a new baseball and let the guy on deck retrieve that one. 2-1 now to Ethan Barker. And for Jimenez, it's been a lot of driving recently there behind the plate. He's had to come all the way out from California to Boulder and then only a few days later head down to New Mexico. The 2-1. This one hit high in the air. Major league pop-up. Drifting foul down the third base line. In on it and making the catch is Hollinger, and that will end the inning. So Olufsen gets him 1-2-3 in the first. Collegians still lead it 5-0 as we head to the second inning here from Ricketts Park in Farmington, New Mexico. Hunter Hudson will lead off the second inning for the Collegians. They're up 5-0 here over the Farmington Frackers. First game of a 3-game series between the two teams here at Ricketts Park in the land of enchantment in Farmington, New Mexico. 0-1 on Hudson as he took a strike. Tyler Jordan back to work on the mound. This one towards second. Up with it there is Dave Pascal. He throws out Hudson for the first out. So Tyler Jordan has gotten the two batters he's faced. Or two of the three batters he has faced so far. And he should have gotten Farrell as well. So he got Farrell to jam and pop up a pitch, but it just happened to land in right center field for a hit. Now Turner Davis the batter. Davis a single back in the first. And Davis hits one high in the air, deep to center field. This one is back. And it is off the wall. Out there around the 400 sign, Davis will chug into second base with an easy stand-up double. Had no chance at third as the throw came in pretty quickly out there from the center fielder, that being Ethan Barker. And Davis is aboard with his second hit of the day, this time a double. So now Chris Jimenez another chance. As we mentioned earlier, he had a fine day at the plate in his first day as a Collegian on Tuesday, and recorded an RBI already tonight with a sacrifice fly back in the first. Chance to add a second RBI to the resume here, with Davis at second and still only one away. Jordan gives a look back, now brings it home. And it's away and perhaps high to Jimenez. 1 ball and no strikes to the Boulder catcher. Boulder 2-4 on the season thus far, though they've been in every single game they've played, within at least 2 runs through part of the game and deep into the game before kind of got out of hand in the bottom half of the game. This one to short and some trouble over there for the shortstop. Luke Chung couldn't make the play, and everybody's going to be safe. So Davis is up to third, and aboard on the air is Chris Jimenez.
Coming up for the Collegians is the shortstop, number 18, Brennan Roselle.
Here's Brennan Roselle now. Roselle in his first at-bat as a Collegian recorded a base knock. Looks to do the same here with runners at the corners and 1 down. Jordan's first offering to him is line down the line in right field. That one's going to get down. Davis will score. First to third goes Jimenez, and it's another RBI single for the Collegians, and they lead it 6-0 now here in the second inning. On their way to another big inning with runners still at first and third and still only 1 down. So here's Kelby Richardson. Richardson drawing the walk back in the first. For Richardson, we may be seeing him finally breaking out of that slump to begin the season, as he's reached base pretty consistently these last 2 games. First pitch to him is low. Seems to be a little more selective recently, especially on pitches low in the zone. We saw him grounding out quite a bit in the first games of the season, but now just trying to square up and drive the ball a little bit more. The 1-0. A breaking ball that didn't break as much as Jordan wanted it to, and it's outside and high for ball 2. Two and 0. Let's see what Roselle has in mind over at first base here on this count. He'll stay put, and there's a strike. One just drifting in on Richardson, and he took it for strike 1. Two 1 from Jordan is outside, and now 3 balls and 1 strike to Kelby Richardson, who just a lot more patient recently. I mean, he's been able to. He drew a couple of walks even when he was struggling to hit the ball, but now even more selective than he was earlier on in the season, and only swinging at good pitches, it seems, these last couple of games. There's a big breaking ball that falls in on 3-1, and can't fault Richardson for not taking a hack there, as boy, oh boy, he wasn't expecting a breaking ball like that on a 3-ball count. So now the count full to Richardson. Payoff pitch, chopped towards third. They'll go to second for 1, over to first, and just speeding it out there is Richardson, who runs well. It was going to be a tough turn anyway, as Magaha had to turn towards second base after charging in on the ball. And Dave Pascal's throw just not in time to beat the speedy Richardson. The good news for Farmington as well is that ball was chopped just down that third base line. So Davis had to hold, or rather, Jimenez had to hold on there at third base and couldn't go anywhere. So it's a fielder's choice against Richardson. And now Nick Arrivo will be tasked with driving in the run with 2 away. He'll watch 1 low for ball 1. Arrivo had a really nice at-bat back in the first, drawing the walk. And for Nick, that's always a tough at-bat. When you have second and third, and a guy just doesn't want to pitch to you and isn't giving you strikes, that can be one of the toughest at-bats to take as a hitter, because you're saying, well, there's 2 away. As one chopped towards short. Up and throwing to first there is Luke Chung, and the inning is over. So the Collegians only strike for 1 here in the second, but they lead it 6-0 as we head to the bottom half of the inning. Still 6-0 Boulder here from Farmington.
That's good.
Fine first inning on the mound for Jake Olufsen for the Collegians as he got him 1-2-3. And he will go back to work for Boulder now here in the bottom of inning number 2, starting with the cleanup man, Devin Ferrari. Quick correction from earlier. Jake Olufsen did not start opening night. He started the second game of the season, I believe, for the Collegians, against, or rather the third game maybe, against the Fort Collins Foxes. Big swing and a miss from Ferrari. He's looked much sharper here tonight as he got off to a slow start against Fort Collins. He just didn't have the usual command for him. His fastball was just riding up on him a little bit and allowed him to be hit. He does have a big fastball, but he's got to keep it low in the zone or it can be crushed. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. There's a low fastball there on the outside corner. Ferrari couldn't catch up with it, and he's down no balls and 2 strikes. Olufsen pitched the first game against Fort Collins, the second game of the season. Only went 3 innings, looking to go a little further than that here tonight, and he's well on his way to doing it. The 0-2 pitch. Fouled away. Good swing by Ferrari as that pitch had him fooled, but he's able to poke it foul regardless. Collegians up 6-0 here in the bottom of the second inning. A big first inning for the Collegians. They struck for 5 and then added 1 more in the top of this inning. 0-2 still to Ferrari. Olufsen peers in. Now the big righty delivers. Strike 3 called. Fastball on the inside part of the plate. Ferrari can't pull the trigger, and he has gone on strikes. The first strikeout of the evening for Jake Olufsen. So now it'll be the catcher, Eddie Reyes, trying to get something started here against Jake Olufsen, who's looked dominant for the first 4 batters. Olufsen's first offering to Reyes is fouled right back to the screen, and he works ahead of a batter here. And interestingly enough, in the first inning, typically you expect if a guy has a 1-2-3 inning, he's going to be working ahead of the guys, but no. He offered ball 1 to all 3 of the batters he faced in that first inning as the first pitch. But here in the second, he started the first 2 guys he's faced off with strike 1. 0-1 here to Reyes. Olufsen, as we mentioned earlier, from Kansas Wesleyan. At Wesleyan this year, he appeared in 14 games on the Hill. There's a strike. 3.55 ERA for him in 78 2/3 innings pitched. So he's one of the only a few guys on this Collegians roster who have pitched a lot of innings at the collegiate level. A lot of these guys kind of getting their toes wet only in the college baseball scene, freshmen, sophomores who just don't have that many chances to pitch. But Olufsen, a junior, has more than a few innings under his belt. 0-2 swing and a miss. Went after a high fastball, did Reyes. It was inside. He's frustrated with himself as he went after one he probably shouldn't have, and he's gone on strikes. So Olufsen strikes out the first 2 men of the second inning. Now Parker De Pascal will try and see what he can do with 2 away. The good news for Olufsen down at Kansas Wesleyan is the strikeout number, 65 strikeouts and 78 2/3. They're not tremendous, but getting up there. The bad news was he walked 44 guys. So it's the command that he's been trying to work on here this summer, and it seems much better here today. There's a strike. 0-1. He's got the big fastball, as we mentioned. Throws downhill, as he's a big righty out there on the hill, 6'5". One offering fouled away, and it's 0-2. Oh, 2 count. Olufsen into the motion. Here it comes. This one hit towards second. Farrell can't grab it, and it's into right field for a base knock. Just past the outstretched glove of Kicks out there at second base. And it's the first hit of the evening for the Frackers. So DePascal's aboard. Now Marquise Glenn will stand in as he'll see Olufsen out of the stretch for the first time tonight.
Fielder, number 6, Marquise Glenn.
Glenn, a left-handed batter, starting in left field here tonight for Farmington. Olufsen, a glance before coming set. Now focusing in on the plate. And well outside with his first pitch to Marquise Glenn. So 1-0 on Glenn. Marquise coming to the Frackers here via Georgia, where he was born in Covington, Georgia, but then moved west as he now plays for the Texas A&M Texarkana. And it's 2-0 on him as that one missed. So just making his way further and further west. First to Texas and now here to New Mexico. 2-0 to Glenn. And Olufsen finally finds the zone to him as there's strike one right on the outside corner. With some pitchers, it can take just a moment to get reset after you've pitched an inning and 2/3 out of the windup. Got to see what the stretch looks like for him here today. Has the first strike out of the stretch under his belt. Here's the 2-1. Runner takes off, swing and a miss. Throw down for Jimenez is in time, and out at second base trying to snag it is Parker DePascal, and the inning is over. So Glenn will have to try it again when we come in the third inning. But for now, Chris Jimenez is able to work the Collegians out of the inning with a nice throw down to second base, and they still lead it 6-0 as we head to the third here from New Mexico. Six 0 Boulder here in the third inning from Farmington, New Mexico, and Ricketts Park, the home of the Connie Mack World Series. Jimmy Hollinger, the batter for Boulder, here in their half of the third inning. It'll be Hollinger, Farrell, and Reeves to begin things, once again facing off against Tyler Jordan. Side winding left-hander throws it in for strike one as Hollinger swings and misses. Jordan came in towards the end of that first inning and pitched the second inning. He's given up one run, that one in the second. This one low and outside to Jimmy, and it's 1-1 on Hollinger. Only 5 hits are for the Collegians. Hollinger flies this one towards center. In on it and making the catch is the center fielder Barker for the first out. Hollinger gone. Here comes Kix Farrell.
Coming up now for the Collegians, second baseman, number 9, Kix Farrell.
Kix, another right-handed batter for the Collegians from West Texas A&M. Texas native is Kix from Memphis, Texas. First pitch to him is back to the screen off the glove of the catcher, and it's 1-0. Farrell is first time around, an RBI single, 2 RBIs in fact for Kix on that base knock. Just muscled it out to right center field. He'll do sort of the same thing here. In comes the center fielder, and he dives in, can't make the catch. So Farrell, another base knock to the same spot pretty much. As he's gotten fooled twice, but has 2 hits to show for it. So Kix is aboard at first base. And now J.J. Reeves will be the batter. Reeves took 2 at-bats in the first inning, walked in the first one, and scored the first run of the ball game, and then grounded out to third in the second. So third time around for J.J. He'll have to face off again against Tyler Jordan. That second at-bat was against Jordan in the first. He squares the bunt and takes a strike. Big slow breaking ball that time from Jordan. Reeves thought it was low. That's why he pulled it back, but it was called a strike. 1 away, runner at first. Collegians up 6-0 here in the third inning. Next delivery to J.J. Line towards third and up with it there, and got in trouble is Farrell, and that'll end the inning. So making the catch was the third baseman. It was Magaha, and he just threw over to first as Farrell was hung up on the line drive. So not the routine double play, but he'll take it anyway if you're Tyler Jordan, and that will end the inning. So the Collegians are unable to score here in the third. They lead at 6-0 as we head to the last of the inning here on the Collegians Broadcast Network. Was on base. Olufsen back to work against Marquise Glenn. And we'll have to face Glenn again, as Glenn was up to bat when Parker De Pascal was thrown out at second base trying to swipe it by Chris Jimenez. Glenn takes a strike. So Olufsen not having no qualms about working against him again, as he was down 2-1 to the batter. And now gets to work ahead 0-1. The 0-1, swing and a miss. Ball in the dirt, and it's 0-2.
Off the bat for the Frackers, left fielder, number 6, Marquise Glenn.
Glenn started his college career at Eastern New Mexico University before heading to Texas A&M Texarkana. A 0-2 count on him here from Jake Olufsen. Olufsen towing the rubber. Now brings it home. Swing and a miss. He got him. This one's going to go back to the backstop. Jimenez is going to have to hurry, and he's going to have no play. So record the strikeout for Olufsen, but Glenn reaching on the pass ball. And the Frackers have the leadoff man aboard.
Off the bat now for the Frackers, number 34, first baseman, Bryce Beck.
So it'll be Bryce Beck. Beck, a teammate of Marquise Glenn at Texas A&M Texarkana. 6'1", 205 pounds.
Check. Can you hear me?
Big lefty in here against Jake Olufsen. Olufsen, an extended look in, and he'll just step off and look Glenn back to first base. Adjustment of the batting gloves from Beck. He's back in from that left-handed batter's box. Olufsen, another extended look, and time asked for at the plate by Beck. So Olufsen really mulling this pitch over. And let's see what happens here. Maybe third time's the charm. Olufsen comes set on the mound. Glenn with his lead from first, not all that large. And they'll make a move over there, and Glenn's hung up. Davis going to try and run him down. Glenn being real shifty, but finally able to catch him is the shortstop out there in Roselle. And so Glenn is gone. And no sooner does he get a board on the drop third strike, but he is retired out there from first base. Glenn didn't have all that big of a lead, just fell to sleep against Olufsen, which is surprising since Olufsen looked his way twice. Still no pitches delivered to Bryce Beck, but one down in the inning now with Glenn being picked off. 0-1 to Beck. The 0-0. And it's outside, 1-0. And for Beck, that can be a little jarring as a hitter with a runner at first. I can't hit into a ground ball here. But now, your mentality just changes just a bit with no runners aboard. 1-0 pitch. And on the hand, sprayed down the first base line, but they're going to say it's a foul ball as it goes off the shin of Beck. He's going to limp that one off. Never feels good coming off the shin. So you see so many guys with the shin guards. Beck not wearing one, and that one's going to sting. 1-1 on him. Olufsen just wandering around the mound while Beck tried to get that shin back underneath him. Olufsen now back out of the windup. And the 1-1 there for a strike. 1-2. Opening night here for Farmington. And what a lovely venue they have to play in here at Ricketts Park. They begin their third season of play to the Frackers. And time asked for and granted to Bryce Beck. Olufsen really taking his time here against Beck. Now he seems ready for the 1-2 as he's in the motion, and here it comes. This one driven out to right center field. That one will get down and will roll all the way to the wall. Beck is looking towards third, but he'll stop right there at second base as he pulls in with a stand-up double here with one away. And now how huge was the pickoff of Marquise Glenn for the Boulder Collegians? As Glenn, who runs fairly well, would have been at third, obviously, but I think he may have been able to score on that ball to the gap. But as it is, he was picked off the base paths, and so they're just going to have a runner at second and one away. Now Cody Magaha will get his first chance of the evening here in the third inning. Runner at second, one down for him. So an opportunity to finally put his team on the board here against Jake Olufsen. Olufsen once again taking his time, now finally comes set. Glances back towards the runner. Gives him a second glance as well. Now brings it home. Scoring to bunt and fouling it away was Magaha, and it's 0-1. That one rode in on him. He still tried to get the bunt down while ducking out of the way simultaneously and was unsuccessful in doing so. We'll see if he offers again. 0-1. As with one away, moving the runner up to third, there's a small advantage in it, but not as big as if there was nobody out, as the sacrifice fly becomes unproductive with two away. Hollinger creeping in after seeing bunt on pitch one. Davis staying pretty far back there at first base, all things considered. And Olufsen will rethink the pitch as he motions towards second, but no one was there for a pickoff attempt anyway. So it just works the same as him stepping off the mound, and he'll get some new signs. 6-0 Boulder. One away here in the third inning. Bottom of three. Frackers with a runner at second. A chance to finally try and get on the board. As one gets away from the catcher Jimenez, up to third base goes Beck.
This is a mic check, 1, 2, mic check.
And now that sacrifice fly is in effect. As with one away, the chance just a fly ball should drive in the run. Got to be careful of another pass ball, too. 0-1 on Magaha. Cody out of New Mexico Highlands College. One swing and a miss. So Olufsen would not mind a strikeout here. 1-2 and one away. Runner at third. Pop-up strikeout, something like that. It'll keep that run from scoring. One-two offering to Magaha. Just missed inside, perhaps a little bit high. And the count is even at 2. Magaha this year, a 167 hitter, though in very limited attempts, only 6 at-bats for him at New Mexico Highlands. Only a freshman. Well, that number looks to increase. Choking up here with 2 strikes on him and a runner at third base and one away. 2-2 from Olufsen. Swing and a miss. He got him. Took something off, and Magaha was well in front of it, and he's gone on strikes. Good pitch there from Jake Olufsen. And he's an out away from working out of this situation. Dalen Pigford will be the batter. He popped out to the third baseman Hollinger to begin the ball game. Pigford, a left-handed batter, against the righty Olufsen. First pitch, right there for strike one. Olufsen wasting no time against Pigford, as that was right there, right down Broadway. Oh, 0-1. Runner at third. Pitch, and missed high as Jimenez had to come out of the crouch in order to snag it. Olufsen trying to get through 3 innings unscathed here. His team leads at 6-0. One offering. Swing and a miss from Pigford, and he's down 1-2. So Olufsen seems to have the swing and miss pitch working just fine here, as they haven't been able to really read the fastball or the slider. It's really been only the one pitch to Beck that's bothered him so far. Beck was able to record the double, then moved up on a wild pitch. 1-2. Chop towards short. Therefore it is Roselle. Throw to first. Davis kept his foot on the bag as the throw was wide, but Davis, the nice stretch over there, records the out. And still the Frackers remain scoreless. Jake Olufsen threw 3. And we will head to the 4th. Still 6-0, Boulder. Jake Olufsen, another fine inning on the mound for the Collegians, who was able to work out of a little bit of trouble, and he's gone 3 scoreless, and now we're on to the 4th. Hunter Hudson will lead off an inning for the second time today as he jumps out of the way of the first pitch he sees from Tyler Jordan, and it's 1 ball and no strikes to the Boulder DH. 0 for 2 day for Hudson, as he's really the only guy in the lineup not to join the hit parade thus far. Everybody else has reached base at least once. Hudson a strikeout and a ground ball. 1-0, back up the middle to the second baseman. Fielding it on the right side of the bag, there's Parker De Pascal. He makes the play, and there is 1 down. So now it'll be Turner Davis. Similar situation in the second inning for Davis. He saw Hudson retired on a ground ball to second ahead of him, and then he promptly hit a double out to deep right center field. So we'll see what he has in store here in the 4th. 6-0 Boulder. 5-run first for them. Then they added a second in that second inning. That run being scored by Turner Davis, the man at the plate right now. First pitch to Turner, missed low. One balls and no strikes to the big Georgian first baseman. He also plays third base and catcher. I would not be surprised if we saw him at catcher perhaps in the 3rd game of this series, or maybe later on in the week. And there's a strike, just brushing the outside corner. It was high, but just got in the zone. Collegians in the middle of a pretty long road trip. This, of course, being the furthest destination from home for them here in Farmington. That one in on the hands and fouled away. They won't be back home till a week from Saturday. Meanwhile, they finish up here in Farmington on that Saturday and travel home Sunday. Monday they'll play against Sterling. Tuesday against the Denver Pirates. Wednesday they are up in Fort Collins, going home to visit the Fort Collins Foxes at their place. This one is outside. And Davis has it at 2-2. So 2-2 on Turner Davis. Quick correction. Wednesday, they'll be playing against the Colorado Sox down at their place in D'Evelyn, as this one's fouled away by Davis. Then they'll see the Fort Collins Foxes on Friday. And Saturday, they're finally back home in Boulder. That Saturday being the 15th of June. Hope we'll see you out at the ballpark. This one misses, and now it's full to Turner Davis. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Certainly hope to see you out at the ballpark then. The Collegians have been away for quite a while. It'll be Adapted Sports Night. So definitely want to come check out that doubleheader. The first game is at 5:30, and then, of course, the doubleheader, the second game, will follow about 30 minutes after that one. 3-2 to Davis, missed outside, and Turner is aboard for the 3rd time today. He's singled, he's doubled, and now he has taken a walk. Now Chris Jimenez, the batter. He's 0 for 1, that being an error on the shortstop, Luke Chung. He's also hit into a sacrifice fly that drove in the first run of the ball game. Run at first, 1 away. Jordan's first pitch took something off, and it's there for strike 1. Jimenez, as we mentioned, out of Long Beach State, just wrapped up his sophomore year with the Dirtbags. He was a pretty heavily recruited guy. This one is high, 2-1. Tennessee, Texas A&M, UC Riverside. You've heard of all of them. Well, a few different teams gave him a look. Next delivery, fouled away. It's 1-2 on Chris Jimenez. Jordan's done a pretty nice job out of the bullpen thus far, as he was shoved into a tough situation in the first. Did give up that base hit to Kix Farrell, though he really won that at bat, but got a bit unlucky. The 1-2, line down the left field line and off the glove of the third baseman. Magaha leaped high to get it. Now the return throw to first is errant, and up to second goes Turner Davis. Magaha leapt high on the infield, and Turner Davis was just holding it first as he thought he might come down with it. It ended up just coming off the glove, and now then Davis was hung up at first. So they had a chance still to perhaps get him, even though it was too late to get Jimenez, who runs well down the line. But the throw got away from the first baseman, and up to second went Turner Davis. So call it a single for Chris Jimenez, as reasonable effort not achieved there at third base. It was an awfully tough play he would have had to make as he leapt high with his back turned towards the infield. Brennan Roselle in, takes ball one. Roselle has started his Collegians career out pretty well. 2 for 2. That ain't bad. Chance to add on to it here and perhaps add an RBI. There's a strike. Roselle, in addition to being 2 for 2 on the night, has scored a run and driven in a run. A 1-1. One's low. 2-1 now to Brennan Roselle. Roselle joins his teammate Jimenez in being the first Long Beach State Dirtbags to ever play for the Collegians. Roselle, a bit younger than Jimenez, just coming out of his freshman year for Long Beach State. Didn't play much for the Dirtbags, but the numbers you can look at are his high school numbers, and he played for the Lincoln, and get this, there's the pitch, and it's high. Fighting Zebras. That's his mascot in high school, was the Lincoln Fighting Zebras. But for those Fighting Zebras, he was first team All-Metro, that being the metro area of Los Angeles. So nothing to sneeze at there, as there's plenty of talent around that area. And he was first time All-League 3 different times, and his senior year was the league MVP. This one fouled away, and the count runs full to Brennan Roselle. Well, you'll say that's all well and good, but how does that translate to the college level? We haven't seen much of him yet. He not a redshirt year for him his freshman year, but didn't really play much for Long Beach. But I'll tell you this. If you can be a hitter like that in the L.A. area, you're well on your way. Certainly a lot to be proved at the college level, but you won't find better competition high school-wise than around there. Swing and a miss from Roselle. He's gone on strikes. So for the first time tonight, they retire him. And now Kelby Richardson will be tasked with driving in that run from second base. Richardson has walked and hit into a fielder's choice so far tonight. First offering. They're going to ask whether he held up or not. The first base umpire says yes, he did. And so Kelby Richardson, well, I should say yes, he did hold up. That can be a bit confusing. He did not go around. It's 1-0. That one downstairs. 2 balls and no strikes to Richardson. Well, they're holding Turner Davis on at second base here with 2 away, which, okay. I don't think Turner has any thoughts of stealing third, especially with 2 outs. But they held him on nonetheless. And the 2-0 is outside, and 3 balls and no strikes to Kelby Richardson. We talked about it earlier, showing a lot more patience at the plate, especially on balls that are low, like that last pitch. A walk here would go a long way to helping the Collegians drive in this run, as it would push another runner into scoring position and the other guy up to third, and it'll do just that as Kelby Richardson draws his second walk of the night. And now a hot hitter in Nick Arrivo to the plate.
Now batting for the Collegians,
Arrivo is 0 for 1 tonight. He's drawn a walk, scored a run, and then grounded to short. But as we mentioned, he's one of the hotter hitters on the team. Had a great game against the Rough Riders. Also hit well against against Game Day. He's been all around the lineup this year. He's hit second, he's hit third, he's hit sixth. That's where he is tonight, and now tonight he's hitting seventh. And it's 1-1 as that one missed outside. Collegians up 6-0. 2 away here in the top of the 4th inning from Farmington, New Mexico. 1-1 is downstairs. And we do want to extend a greeting to those of you who are tuning in through the Farmington Frackers radio network. We sure appreciate you tuning in, and you'll have games here all season long for you, and you'll be joined by Emmett Fowler for most of the season. But for now, these first 3 games of the season will be us, the Collegians broadcast, bringing you Frackers baseball. The 2-1 popped high in the air, right about the center of the infield. Couple guys coming in on it, but it'll be the third baseman who takes charge. Cody Magaha makes the catch, and the inning is over. So another good inning on the mound for Tyler Jordan as he holds the Collegians scoreless once again. They lead at 6-0, do the Collegians, as we head to the bottom of inning number 4 here from Ricketts Park in Farmington, New Mexico. Welcome back to Farmington. Collegians up 6-0. Some between inning annex as we have to clear the bikes off the field, or rather trikes, I suppose, as we get ready to play. Jimmy Hollinger and Kix Farrell had to move out of the way as there's a trike race around the bases. And I don't know. They had to get out of the way, so we'll see how warmed up they are. But it'll be Luke Chung to lead things off for Farmington. It'll be 1, 2, 3, and 4. Chung, Barker, and Ferrari. Facing off against Jake Olufsen. Olufsen, 3 clean innings so far. This one bunted down the third baseline. Pretty good attempt. Hollinger going to pick it up. Throw to the first is in time. Nice play from Jimmy Hollinger. We told you he could field. He can do it at short and at third base, as he proves right there. He had to come in a long ways to get that ball. Not a bad idea from Chung, and not a bad bunt either. But Jimmy Hollinger takes care of it, and there's one away. So now Ethan Barker will bat. He popped out to Hollinger back in the first inning. Jimenez and Olufsen getting together for just a moment, more than likely discussing what kind of signs they are using, as maybe they were off on that first pitch. Or perhaps a strategy against the lefty Barker. Well, we shall see. Olufsen still working out of the windup. Here with one away and nobody aboard. 6-0 Boulder. First offering from Olufsen to Barker is called a strike right there on the outside corner. So Olufsen works ahead here. He's worked ahead of most of the batters since the first inning. He got all 3 of those guys in the first inning, but didn't work ahead of a single one. Since then, it's been mostly first pitch strikes from Jake Olufsen. The 0-1. Line down the right field line, but well out of play, out into the parking lot, in fact. And no balls and 2 strikes to Ethan Barker.
Why didn't he just have you pointed? You can't see him?
Olufsen working at a leisurely pace here. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. And Ethan Barker goes down on strikes. That is strikeout number 4 on the evening for Jake Olufsen. So now it'll be Devin Ferrari. Ferrari himself a strikeout victim back in the second. That one looking. Olufsen got him on 3 pitches. He swings it now with 2 away and nobody aboard. And Olufsen pumps in strike 1. So Olufsen has already worked deeper into this ballgame than he did against the Fort Collins Foxes. And it was, of course, Olufsen's first game pitch since the college season. He was just shaking a little rust off. Just didn't quite have as tight of command as he does tonight. The 0-1. And swung on and missed. And I'll tell you what, I don't know if the breaking ball was working quite as well for him as it is here tonight either. As he was mostly fastball against the Foxes, but here tonight he's worked in that slider and a changeup a little bit. 0-2 on Devin Ferrari. Collegians up 6-0 as we play the last of the 4th. 0-2 pitch. Grounded towards short. Charging on it. His Roselle throw to first is in time, and that will retire the side. So another 1-2-3 inning for Jake Olufsen, and we're on to inning 5, 6-0 Boulder. New hurler on here for the Frackers. We'll try and get you a line on who that is, as he's not listed on our roster, but we'll try and lock that down for you. Jimmy Hollinger, the batter, takes one inside for ball 1. So Tyler Jordan out of the ball game now for Farmington. 3 1/3 innings pitched for him. 1 strikeout, 5 hits, and only the 1 earned run. So pretty good performance out of the pen, especially coming in so early. 2-0 to Hollinger now. Collegians leading at 6-0 as we play the top of the 5th inning here from Ricketts Park here in Farmington, New Mexico. One of 2 big road trips for the Collegians this year. They head out to Farmington here to begin the month of June or so, and then in early July they'll head out to Kansas for a 6-game stint. This one fouled away by Hollinger, at 2 to the parking lot, and right around where our producer Mitch Sanchez is parked. That's our ride back to Boulder, so let's hope it's all right. 2-1 count on Jimmy Hollinger. Jimmy 0 for 1 tonight. Has also drawn a walk. And checks his swing, but accidentally fouls the ball off anyway. So it's 2-2. Hollinger taking a moment getting into the box. Now is ready to go. Pitcher there waiting for him. And time asked for Hollinger, so pitcher just going to hang on. He's still set out there. Hasn't moved off the rubber. Now Hollinger back in. Still immobile out there is the hurler for the Frackers. Just holding that pose. And now finally brings it home. The 2-2. Strike 3 called. So he waited all that time, and it pays off for him as he strikes out Jimmy Hollinger for the first out of the inning. An electric fastball there. We'll try and get a reading on just how quick it was because it was really zipping there. Now kicks Farrell, the batter. I mean, the pitcher out there stood in the set position for what had to have been 20 to 30 seconds. Normally a guy steps out, you see the guy step off the rubber. Not so here. So Farrell, who is already 2 for 2 tonight, will stand in, and he'll take one high for ball 1. Both of Farrell's hits have come, well, via the baseball side of things, and by that I mean he got jammed, popped it up, and somehow recorded a hit both times. And that's somehow the way the game plays. That one's low. And then on a similar play, he got picked off on a line drive that was hit really hard to the third baseman, but then he was out on a double play on the base paths. So that's just sometimes how this game works. 2-0. Therefore a strike. Farrell did drive in 2 runs with his first hit. Never made it past second base as he was doubled up on that line drive in the third. That one just missing inside. Similar location to the last pitch, but just a touch more in. Three 1. That one's fouled away. So a full count here to kicks Farrell. 9-hole man. J.J. Reeves waits on deck. The payoff pitch. Hit towards first and just kind of curling back into the glove of the first baseman Beck. He'll flip to the pitcher covering for the second out. It was hit hard by Farrell, but right to the first baseman. So now it'll be J.J. Reeves. He drew a walk in the first, also grounded out in the first inning as he swung it twice. The Collegians batted around, and then he lined out in the third. He's in here with no one on, and 2 away here in the 5th. First offering to Reeves is high, ball 1. (1-0) to J.J. Reeves, right there for strike 1. And the 1-1 misses low and a touch outside. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike to the Boulder center fielder. He's mostly played center field this year. Has played right, need be. He can play all around that outfield. 2-1 is low. 3 balls and 1 strikes to J.J. Reeves. For Reeves this summer, though, his goals in terms of what he wants to work on are mostly off the ball field, though he does want to get a little better hitting the ball, maybe develop some more power. His biggest goals are to improve his speed and to lift a lot. And 3-1's in there for a strike. Reeves, who just finished up his sophomore year at Regis, trying to build up that frame. A 3-2 is ball 4, and Reeves down to first base with his second walk of the day. So JJ is aboard with 2 away, and now another opportunity for Hunter Hudson. Hudson, no success so far today as he struck out and grounded out twice. Reeves runs well at first, so Hudson going to try and find a gap here with 2 away. Hudson in from the left side here against the right-handed pitcher. First delivery is high and outside for ball 1. So when this guy on the hill has missed, it's been high. If you're going to miss high, miss out of the zone is always the way to go. Outfield has Hudson shaded just a bit in. So move over to first. Reeves back, no problem. Hudson ready to go after adjusting the batting gloves. Pitcher comes set. Checks on Reeves. Now brings it home. 1-0 swing and a miss by Hudson. Hudson, who started off the season red hot, has had a bit of a tough go recently, as he was only 1 for 4 in the last game. Just trying to get his timing back, it seems. The 1-1. There for strike 2. High fastball that skimmed across the letters. Hudson going to have to buckle down and protect here. 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner at first. Top of the 5th inning, Collegians up 6-0. They play the first of 3 here in Farmington, New Mexico, against the hometown Frackers. The 1-2. One missed low and outside. The catcher, Reyes, tried to frame it, but home plate umpire Dave Toledo wasn't buying it. Two-two count on Hunter Hudson. Collegians haven't scored since the second, though they lead at 6-0. Reeves takes off. The 2-2 is called a ball, and Reeves able to slide in on a throw that was off the bag. Reeves was beat by a mile to second base by the throw from Eddie Reyes, but the throw went to the left side of second base, and Reeves was able to slide in with the head-first dive. So now the chance for an RBI becomes present for Hunter Hudson, and a full count on the Boulder DH. And I'm sure the hurler would like to get him here as Turner Davis waits on deck, and he's been on base 3 times. Full count. That one is just outside, perhaps a bit high, and Hudson draws the walk. So the good news for them is first base was open, so it doesn't move anyone else ahead, but that'll bring up Turner Davis, who's singled, doubled, and walked.
His still is open. Located on the ground floor, on the third base side. It must be legal drinking age and be able to show proper ID and use a still.
Turner has hit both of his hits the other way. We keep talking about it, but boy, oh boy, does he hit well the other way. You often see power hitters who try and pull everything, and, well, if they get one inside, it's going to go a long way, but if they don't, oftentimes you can see him roll over or even swing and miss at a pitch on the outside part of the plate. But for Davis, the approach is to all fields, and he's hit the ball well to right. That doesn't mean he doesn't like a good inside pitch, though, as he watches one low. When he hit that home run a few nights ago, he told me, well, I was just happy to get an inside pitch. I wanted to drive something and pull it. I just wanted to pull the ball. And he finally got a chance to do that and hit it out of the yard. First and second, 2 away. 1-0 to Turner Davis, missed inside. Turner, one of the couple of guys who's started every game thus far for the Collegians, whether that's been at first base, DH, or behind the plate. The others being J.J. Reeves, Hunter Hudson, Kelby Richardson, and Nick Arrivo. 2-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Davis went after one that was just a hair low and swung over the top of it. That's the pitch he likes to drive. It was low and inside. That's where he can really get the barrel to it, but just a little too low, and the timing wasn't quite there for Turner. Probably fortunate it wasn't, because that was a ground out waiting to happen. So 2 balls and 1 strike here to Turner Davis. Runners at first and second and 2 away. Top of the 5th inning. Big swing and a miss. A breaking ball that broke out of the zone. Davis went after it, and the count even at 2. Deuce is wild here. 2 on, 2 outs, and a 2-2 count to Turner Davis. Trying to add on to a 6-0 lead already for the Collegians here in the 5th. And a pause at the mound. He'll step off and rethink the pitch. He'll ask for the signs again as well. Get his bearings about him.
I'll tell you this.
This is a big pitch coming up here to Turner Davis. Trying to keep his team within reason here in this one, down 6-0. Here's the 2-2 to Turner Davis. Swing and a miss. Davis got up 2-0 and then promptly goes down on strikes. So Turner is retired for the first time today, we should mention. He's had an excellent day, but down on strikes there. And the Collegians are once again unable to strike. They still lead at 6-0, though. We'll head to the 5th. Bottom of the 5th, pardon me. Still 6-0 Boulder. Ricketts Park in Farmington, New Mexico, playing host to the Boulder Collegians here for the next 3 days. We'll play a 3-game series here against the Farmington Frackers. In game 1 of the series, the Collegians up 6-0 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And back to work on the mound goes Jake Olufsen. Olufsen has been excellent. Pair of 1-2-3 innings for him and has worked out of trouble in the other 2. And thus far has only allowed 2 hits and no runs. He'll start things off here in the 5th against 5, 6, and 7 in the Fracker order. Eddie Reyes being the first of them as he swings and misses. Reyes struck out back in the 2nd. Oh, 1 to the Texas native is right there for strike 2. Olufsen really able to work the fastball down here this evening, and it's benefited him well. Olufsen paces himself well on the mound. Here's the 0-2. It's high and perhaps outside, taking Jimenez out of the crouch. Olufsen going today for Boulder. He gets his 2nd start of the year. Joe Milano will pitch tomorrow, and Reggie Paris will pitch on Saturday. The 1-2 popped over the head of the shortstop. Going back on it and making the grab out in shallow left center field is Brennan Roselle, and there's the first out. Part of the success for Olufsen is he's only allowed the leadoff man on once. That was back in the 3rd inning, and no fault of his own. It was, well, a little bit the fault of his own. He got the strikeout, but the wild pitch allowed the runner to make it to first. So it was not allowed base runner per se on a walk or a hit, but just that wild pitch on strike 3. He never came in to score, so it didn't bother Olufsen anyway. And he got another strikeout in the book. 1 to 5th off the bat of Parker De Pascal. And over to first goes the 3rd baseman, Hollinger.
Keep it wide on those. Don't get too zoomed in.
Coming up now to the Frackers, number 6, left fielder Marquise Glenn.
Marquise Glenn will take his 2nd time around, officially in the book, though he's been at the plate in 3 separate innings now. He was at the plate in the 2nd when the runner was thrown off trying to steal 2nd, that being Parker De Pascal. And he struck out in the 3rd, and now in for his 2nd attempt. We'll watch one outside for ball 1. Olufsen pitching well. I'm sure they want to use him in as many innings as they can, as there won't be an off day for Boulder until Thursday. So that bullpen going to be in high demand. 1-0. Just outside, 2 balls and no strikes. The good news for Boulder in that regard is I believe only one of those days features a doubleheader. That doubleheader will be the Tuesday affair against the Denver Pirates. There's a strike. 2-1 to Marquise Glenn. One offering from Jake Olufsen. Hit towards 2nd. Farrell got a late jump on it, and it's into right field for a base knock. It was hit awfully hard, and Farrell would have had to immediately have gone to his left, but stumbled just a bit, and it's a base hit. Had he even gotten off to a quick start, not certain he would have gotten there, but Marquise Glenn is aboard with a hit, and the 3rd hit of the day for Farmington. So now Bryce Beck, who has the biggest hit of the day thus far for the Frackers, a double back in the third inning, will stand in. Beck doubled, then moved up to third on a wild pitch, but was unable to score as Olufsen was able to get 2 quick outs in the inning. Olufsen will think over his first pitch to Beck for just a moment as he wanders around the mound. Glenn at first runs well. Olufsen going to have to keep close tabs on him. And he'll do just that as he throws over. Glenn was picked off back in the third inning as he got a little too far away from first base. Well, not even, I should say that. He was about a normal lead's length away from first, but just kind of fell asleep on Olufsen, and he had him picked off. First pitch to Beck is high and outside. Beck from the American Northwest in the state of Washington. Played some time at Yakima Valley College, pardon me, before moving on to Texas A&M Texarkana. And he'll take a strike. For Farmington, still down 6-0. Feels like their offense just needs a jump start here in their first game of the season. Just hasn't gotten going against Jake Olufsen. The 1-1 fouled away. Olufsen, whenever he's gotten in trouble, has worked out of it. And it just seems like until they score that first run, this Frackers offense just can't really get going. You feel like if they could get one run, the rest would be soon to follow. But Olufsen has prevented them from breaking the seal thus far. 1-2 count on Bryce Beck. Olufsen will step off, take a glance over at Glenn at first base, and now is back ready to go. But he'll have to wait a moment on Bryce Beck, who goes through the routine one more time as he stepped out. Now both parties are ready. And Olufsen ponders the 1-2 just a moment longer. We'll glance over at first. And here's the pitch. Glenn takes off. Pitch was outside. Throw down to second. Bounces in and is not in time. It was on the money from Jimenez, but the bounce may have given Glenn just the moment he needed in order to slide in safe. Not a bad tag either there from Roselle as he was able to lay it on him quickly. But Glenn just underneath of it and getting that hand in there in time. 2-2 on Beck. And a runner at second. Chance to score for the first time for the Frackers. And a breaking ball just misses. High and outside for ball 3. So it's a full count to Beck. And perhaps one of the bigger at-bats of the game so far for the Frackers, as they need to get on the board desperately. Olufsen a couple glances, payoff pitch, runner takes off, but time was asked for at the plate. Olufsen took just a moment longer than Beck was willing to wait as he asked for time just at the last moment, and probably good for the Collegians he did, as Glenn was taking off and got a pretty good jump at that. So a full count here to Bryce Beck. Runner at second and Glenn, taking off with contact, or actually with the pitch, should score easily. 3-2. And there's ball 4. Glenn elected to take off with the pitch despite being on second on the first go-around on the 3-2, but the second time held right on at second base. But now he has that runner behind him, here still with 2 away. It'll be Cody Magaha. Magaha, a strikeout victim in the third. Jimenez out to the mound to chat with Olufsen ahead of this batter. Magaha a chance to plate the first run of the season here for Farmington as it's their opening night. First pitch to Magaha, big swing and miss as he would have needed to pull out the 9-iron in order to get to that one. Took a golf-looking swing there as the bat head was down. And he is down 0-1. The Frackers, a part of the American Amateur Baseball Congress, which might be confusing to some Collegians fans, as the Collegians are part of the National Baseball Congress, but in two different leagues. They play in two different World Series. The 0-1. Outside, runners take off. The throw goes to second from Jimenez, and he has him nailed there. So he says, no thanks to Glenn at third. I'll take care of the guy at second. He throws out Bryce Beck, and the inning is over. So the double steal doesn't pay off, and the Collegians lead at 6-0 as we head to the top of the sixth here from Ricketts Park in Farmington, New Mexico. Three, 4, and 5 for the Collegians here, or rather 4, 5, and 6 for the Collegians here in their half of the sixth inning. It'll be Chris Jimenez, Brennan Roselle, and Kelby Richardson. Jimenez, a 1-for-2 day. Infield knock, sac fly, and reached on an error. And watch one low for ball one. Collegians up 6-0 here from Ricketts Park in Farmington, New Mexico, northwestern part of New Mexico, just around the Four Corners area. 1-0 is fouled away. And Jimenez upset with himself as he missed a pretty good-looking pitch there, right in his wheelhouse, but just fouls it away. Collegians haven't scored since the second inning, but it's been all right because Farmington hasn't scored in any of the 6 innings so far, or 5 innings so far. That one's outside and high. That's all thanks to Jake Olufsen, who's done a tremendous job on the mound so far for Boulder. The 2-1 is high. 3 balls and 1 strikes to Chris Jimenez. (3-1) and it just missed high and inside. And so Jimenez is on to lead off the inning. And take a look at him over there. If you're the pitcher on the hill, as he's going to be running pretty well out there for a catcher. You think, well, he's the catcher. I don't really have to keep a close eye on him. Not the case with Chris Jimenez. So here's Brennan Roselle. Roselle 2 for 3 today. Pair of singles to begin the ball game and then struck out his last time around. First pitch to the Collegian shortstop is outside and low for ball one. We were talking about at the end of the inning, but the American Amateur Baseball Congress and the National Baseball Congress are two different organizations. The American Amateur Baseball Congress plays in the Stan Musial World Series, which is held July 15th to the 22nd in Pueblo, Colorado. And well, those of you who have to drive out to Kansas into Wichita for the NBC World Series are saying, well, hey, let's go ahead and join this league. Pueblo seems a lot closer, but both good organizations, certainly, and just kind of a different look for the two. 2-0 count here to Brennan Roselle. This team, the Frackers, won that Stan Musial World Series back in 2017 in their inaugural year. That one runs inside and gets Roselle, and he's down to first base on the hit by pitch. Hit by pitches have been no rarity to the Collegians this year, as it seems 2 or 3 guys get plunked each game. But that's the first guy that's been beaned here tonight. And here's a guy who's no stranger to being hit. Richardson was beaned in his last game, and I believe was being a game day as well. But he'll stand in with runners at first and second and no one away. So all of that kind of goes to say we won't be seeing the Frackers in the NBC World Series, though this one fouled away. As the NBC World Series is just a bit later and out in Wichita, Kansas. Interestingly enough, the Stan Musial World Series will be played just around the same time as the Rocky Mountain Baseball League playoffs. 0-1 count here to Richardson. Runners at first and second and no one away. And there's a strike. No stranger to World Series here in Farmington, as this site, Ricketts Park, plays host to the Connie Mack World Series each year, where some of the best 17 and 8-year-old players in the country come to play. Well, who would that be? How about guys like Machado and Hosmer? Those two have graced this field in the past. The 0-2. Called strike 3, and Richardson is retired. So it only takes 3 pitches to take care of Richardson. Thought that one was inside, and he's gone on strikes. So here's Nick Arrivo. Arrivo, 0 for 2 today, has also drawn a walk. Don't let that fool you, though. He's been one of the better hitters on the team to start this year. First and second, 1 away for Nick. Chance to add on to this 6-0 lead. And Nick will take low and outside for ball 1. Arrivo, product of Eckerd College down in Florida. He's from Ann Arbor, Michigan. Attended the IMG Academy down there in Florida his senior year of high school, and that's how he wound up at Eckerd, all the way from Ann Arbor. Look over at second. Chris Jimenez was doing some dancing around back there, but no looking back. 1-0 on Nick Arrivo. Big cut and a miss at that one. It was almost a half-hearted effort from Arrivo, even though he went all the way around. He thought about not swinging, then decided to go through with the full swing and couldn't make contact. It was a pretty good-looking pitch off the hill there, though. So it just broke right out of the zone. 1-1. A breaking ball that slips out of the hand of the pitcher and over the head of Arrivo, who had to duck out of the way. 2 balls and 1 strikes here to the Collegians' left fielder. He's played left field in every single game thus far except for one. That one, Logan Cowart, played out in left. And we'll have to hold on a moment for the 2-1 as there is a look back to second. in that game he didn't play in left. Arrivo DH'd. So like we said earlier, one of a handful of guys who's played every single game so far for the Collegians pokes this one down the first base line, but it's foul. So it'll stay at 2 balls and, well, become 2 balls and 2 strikes on Nick Arrivo. First and second, 1 away here in the top of inning number 6. And just a reminder, because we play so many different games that are 7 innings or 9 innings, this game is a 9-inning game, as will be all 3 games on this road trip down to Farmington. Two-two pitch is high. So a full count here to Nick Arrivo. Drew a walk earlier and scored a run on that 3-ball count. Only got to 3-1 in that count. So the first full count he's seen today. In fact, the first 2-strike count he's seen today. So going to buckle down a little bit here with the 2 strikes. And a chance to drive in a run. Payoff pitch, grounded towards third. So go the long way over to first to record the out. But Arrivo able to beat out the throw. So everybody's going to be safe. Magaha thought about second for a moment, and that moment of hesitation gave Arrivo all the time he needed to beat out the throw down to first base. So now the bases will be loaded for Jimmy Hollinger. Hollinger starting at third today. He's played shortstop for the most part for the Collegians, save for in the game against the Browns where they kind of moved the guys around the infield. He's been mainly a shortstop. But with the arrival of Roselle, they're giving Jimmy his chance at third, and we've already seen him make one fantastic play. There, and he lines this one into right field. That's a base hit. 1 run will score. Here comes the runner from second, and the throw to the plate is in time, and out trying to make it home is Brennan Roselle. So a fine throw out in right field from Pigford. And so the Collegians will only get 1, and there's another out. The first out, the second out of the inning. So Hollinger records the RBI single. He's at first, and up to second on the throw went Nick Arrivo. First pitch to the 9-hole man kicks Farrell is popped over the mound. In comes the shortstop, and making the throw on the run is Luke Chung, and that will end the inning. But the Collegians strike for 1. They've scored again here in the 6th inning. They lead at 7-0 as we head to the bottom of inning number 6 here from Farmington, New Mexico and Ricketts Park. Collegians up 7-0. In a large part to the effort on the hill by the man you see there, Jake Olufsen. What a performance he has had. He's gone 5 scoreless and now comes out to begin his 6th inning of work on the mound. He'll see Cody Magaha. Magaha will see Olufsen for the 3rd time in all reality here. This one outside. Only one official at bat. He struck out, but then he was at the plate when Bryce Beck was thrown out trying to swipe second. It was a double steal, and rather than throw to third, Jimenez went to second and got the out. 1 ball and no strikes to McGahan. And a big swing and a miss at a breaking ball, and it's 1-1. It was really the best opportunity that the Frackers had in a while in order to score a run. They had 1st and 2nd. There were 2 down, but Magaha at the plate had a chance to drive in that run, but that all erased on the double steal. 1-1 here to the 3rd baseman. Olufsen brings it home. And this one fouled back into the stands and well out of play. This one just outside and out of the glove of Jimenez. So no real chance to frame it. And it's 2-2.
I know what to expect. I know that I'm about to play. I know it's going to happen, but it hasn't happened here yet. Yeah, they're in sync with the
Cody, the son of the head coach of the Frackers, Mike Magaha. Dad got a chance to coach his son back in high school as well, as he was his head coach at the high school level at Piedra Valley High School. This one fouled away. And now getting a chance to coach him here with the Farmington Frackers. Magaha was a 1st-team all-district shortstop as a senior and 2nd team as a junior, so continued to progress throughout high school. Coach Magaha's team was the runner-up at state Cody's senior year. Long look in here from Olufsen. 2-2 pitch on the way. Strike 3 call. Got him with the fastball at the knees. Magaha couldn't pull the trigger, and it's another strikeout for Jake Olufsen. And with as dominant as Olufsen has been, he hasn't struck out all that many guys. I mean, he's gotten his fair share. 4 strikeouts for Olufsen thus far, but through 5 1/3, well, the way he's pitching, you'd expect it to be more. But, well, when you can get the ground balls and get your defense involved as he has, he's gotten a lot of weak contact. You don't need the strikeout pitch. Pinch hitter here on for Farmington. And once again, we'd love to tell you who it is. I just don't have him on the roster. Or perhaps it's an issue of me not being able to read the back of a jersey properly. I don't know. I read it properly, but no 36 appears on this roster. So we'll try and get you a line on just who that is. It's Terrence Stevenson. Cameron Stevenson, pardon me. From Roswell, New Mexico. And he takes a strike. 1-1. Stevenson, another guy kind of like Johnny Dowse, who comes into a team as only a senior out of high school. He graduated from Roswell. He'll play his college ball at the University of New Mexico for the Lobos. The 1-1, swing and a miss. Getting his first chance here in a Frackers uniform, so this is his first college level at bat. Let's see if he can beat out Johnny Dowse, who doubled in his. 1-2 count. Olufsen trying to work through a 6th inning here. 1-2 popped high in the air to right. Richardson, who hasn't had a whole lot of action, comes in and makes the catch for the 2nd out. Luke Chung, the batter now. He's 0 for 2 today, has lined out to left and grounded to 3rd. So gone the opposite way both times. So we'll see what the shortstop has in store here. Maybe get a pitch he can drive. We'll see what the game plan is for Jimenez and Olufsen, whether they want to continue to work him away or try and bust him in. Jimenez set up inside for this first pitch, and it's a little too far inside as that's up around the eye level for Chung and a little too far inside for Luke's liking. 1 balls and no strikes here to Luke Chung now. 2 away. Jake Olufsen continue to roll through here. And Turner Davis over from first to have a quick chat with his hurler. Gives him a pat on the back and now back to his position. You got to wonder what that was about. It wasn't a, well, let's get things back together here, guy. You're pep talk. Jake Olufsen certainly hasn't needed that so far. Maybe something he noticed in the swing, I'm not sure. 1-0. He'll go outside this time with the fastball, but just a little too far outside as it misses. 2 balls and no strikes. Olufsen peeking over the glove. Into the motion with the 2-0. And there's a breaking ball in for a strike. Two one is outside. So 3 balls and 1 strikes to Luke Chung. Chung, the lengthiest at-bat of the night for him so far. He's only seen 3 pitches up until this point. Olufsen going to have to retie the cleat, and now he's back ready to go. Olufsen still yet to come set, and now finally puts the hand in the glove. Here's the 3-1. Swing and a miss. Maybe got a piece of it. Regardless, it's strike 2. So a full count on Luke Chung. California native is Chung. Just finished up his freshman year at Luna College. Payoff pitch. And on the hands, grounded towards second. Kicks Farrell up with it there. In one motion, gathers it and throws to Turner Davis at first for the 3rd out. So it's another 1-2-3 inning, the 3rd of the day for Jake Olufsen, and he is cruising through 6. It's 7-0 Collegians on the Collegians Broadcast Network. New pitcher on here for the Farmington Frackers. It's Kyler Duggins, native of just nearby here in Aztec, New Mexico, and playing his college ball for the Luna Community College Rough Riders. Duggins just finished up his freshman year for the Rough Riders. Left-handed pitcher, standing at 6'2" and weighing 190 pounds. Pardon me, he just finished his sophomore year out there at Luna. Aztec just a little bit northeast of here, the other big city in this county. Farmington being one of the larger municipalities here in the state of New Mexico. 6th largest, in fact, in the state. It'll be Kix Farrell to lead things off, followed by J.J. Reeves and Hunter Hudson. And this one outside to Farrell, 1-0. For Duggins, only one appearance for Luna this year. It was 5 innings pitched against the Eastern Arizona Gila Monsters. He gave up no earned runs, so it was a fine performance for him, and he fires in a strike to Farrell, 1-1. He gave up 2 hits and 2 walks and somehow got out of the inning without giving up an earned run, though he was charged with 1 run but not earned. This one is inside, 2-1. So that gives me the idea that perhaps he gave up a couple hits, walked a guy, and then threw a wild pitch and walked another guy before getting out of the inning. But who knows? Either way, he gave up no earned runs in that inning and looks to do the same here in his first appearance for the Farmington Frackers. 2-1 to Farrell. A breaking ball that really looked pretty as it fell in on the inside part of the plate, and it's 2-2.
Your batter, trying to get a strikeout. Beer will be 1 off for the rest of the half inning.
Even at 2 on Kix Farrell. Here's the offering, and it's outside and low, and the count runs full to Kix. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Duggins in his first inning starts it off with a full count. And starts it off with a strikeout as he gets Farrell to swing and miss at that pitch. Outside fastball that Farrell chased. And there's the first out. That is how the 7th inning gets underway with the strikeout. Now J.J. Reeves comes to the plate. 0 for 2 with a pair of walks for Reeves thus far.
Boulder Collegians, number 11, designated hitter, Hunter Hudson.
Okay, well. We apologize. We had a big mix-up there. We'll get this all sorted out. Farrell was out in that 6th inning. I thought so. It seemed a little weird to me that he was back at the plate. Reeves was the batter there. Wait, hold on. That was a right-handed batter. What was the reason? Someone came on to pinch hit for J.J. Reeves. We'll get you a line on who that was in just a moment. We really apologize. We really bungled that one for you. But J.J. Reeves, well, the pinch hitter for him, I suppose, out on strikes. And now an 0-2 count on Hunter Hudson.
I saw number 13 batting for Reeves earlier. Are you looking for a name? Reggie Paris is 13.
0-2 count on Hunter Hudson. And strike 3 called. So a pair of strikeouts to start the inning here for the new man on. And a fine start to the season for Kyler Duggins as he gets a pair of punch-outs. My best guess as to who that was hitting, though we don't want to speculate, is really no clue. And we'll make sure to let you know just exactly who that was. But my guess would maybe be Chris Amador, as he sometimes will play center, but who knows. Pinch hitter on here for Turner Davis. And a strike fired in there. Trying to get a glance at a number to let you know who it is. So Nick Hall is the batter. A 1-1 count on Nick. Nick typically the starter at third base, but getting the night off here tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him over there tomorrow. Pinch hit appearance for him right here. 1-1. Chopped high in the air towards second. Cutting it off, or rather letting it go by, as the first baseman. Throw to from the second baseman is in time to the pitcher covering. Nice play by De Pascal, and perhaps a nicer play by Beck to realize that one was going to be a tough play for him going the other way, and it'll let the second baseman handle it. So 3 up and 3 down in the inning for the Collegians. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th. Still 7-0 Boulder. Hunter Sherrard comes on to handle his 7th here for the Collegians. So the night over for Jake Olufsen, but what a performance it was for him. Ethan Barker will be the first man that Sherrard sees, and he takes one outside and low for ball 1. Final line on the night for Olufsen, 6 innings pitched, no earned runs. Only 3 hits given up for Jake. 1-0 is low and outside again, same location, 2 balls and no strikes. He only got 4 strikeouts in those 6 innings, but it didn't bother him any as he did not allow a run. 2-0 offering from Sherrard is outside and low, ball 3. And that's ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk to begin the outing for Hunter Shrug. Barker drawing that free pass. And he is aboard. Rather, it was Zach Reed, a pinch hitter on for Barker. So Reed draws the free pass. And he is aboard here in his first at-bat. Cedric Reynaud will be the pinch hitter now for Ferrari. First pitch. Inside as he leans out of the way. All those pitches in the same location pretty much for Sherrard. Low and inside to a right-handed batter. That one got him. So 4 pitches that missed for Gerard to the first batter, then misses one, and then beans a guy here. And Jimenez is going to go have a talk with him and try and calm him down out there on the mound. So perhaps the best chance of the day here for Farmington. They've got first and second, no one away, and Eddie Reyes at the plate. Jimenez and Gerard's conference over, and Chris back behind the plate. Stroke out of Doane College in Kansas. Comes set, checks the runner at second, and brings it home. This one down the line over the glove of the first baseman and into left field. The first baseman being Nick Hall. Throw coming in quickly, but still safe at third. There is the runner from first. And that'll be the first run of the game for the Frackers. So an RBI single for Eddie Reyes. As Reed came in to score from second. And up to third base went.
Up to bat for the Frackers, second base, number 20, Parker DePasquale.
So Parker DePasquale, the batter now. 1 for 2 day for him. This one misses high, ball 1. Just wanted to double check for you there. There was 2 19s on the roster, so wanted to make sure it was in fact Reynaud over there at third. It is. So Cedric Reynaud, the runner at third base, and Eddie Reyes at first. Runners on the corners and nobody out. And a 1-ball, no strike count to Parker DePasquale. Gerard looking for the first out in the inning here, as it's been a walk, a hit batsman, and then the single from Reyes. One-0 is inside. Just missing to that same spot is Gerard for the most part. Inside and low to those right-handed batters. Almost all of his pitches have missed there. Farmington trying to creep back into this one. They're down by 6, but have runners at the corners and nobody out. This one in the zone and fouled away. Gerard, a closer at Doane College, coming out of the pen here in the bottom of the 7th inning for the Collegians. And this one runs inside. And it looks like it came off of the glove of Jimenez. It came awfully close to beating DePasquale. But it was off the glove of Jimenez, and moving up to second base on the play goes Reyes. Three balls and 1 strikes to DePasquale. Marquise Glenn waits on deck. First base is open, second and third, nobody out. This one fouled back to the screen, 3-2. Of course, you would love to be able to get a force out, maybe roll a double play here, as I'm sure the Collegians would trade a run for an out, but you don't want to put this runner on, despite the fact that it would set up the force. So I'm sure we'll see Gerard go right at him. Hunter comes set. Here's the pitch. And it missed low, ball 4. So now the bases are loaded, and still nobody out in the inning for the Frackers. Marquise Glenn, the batter. Glenn, a single back in the 5th. And before we can get going without a chant at the mound, and there, that's going to do it for Hunter Gerard. So Sherrard unable to get an out here in the 7th, just not his night. And let's see who the new pitcher is on here for the Collegians. Trying to get a read on that number. It looks like it's number 19, Isaac Parks. That's his build out there as well. Parks has started some games for the Collegians this year, but coming out of the pen here. And he comes into the toughest situation you can face as a reliever. Bases loaded, nobody out. Parks, a local Boulder kid. Played for Boulder High School before moving on to play his college ball at Maryville University in St. Louis, Missouri. As he gets loose out here, he'll see Glenn, Beck, and McGaha should he not be able to turn a double play. Those are the 3 scheduled up with nobody away, though he wouldn't mind that double play right here. And just to update you real quickly on the defense, we mentioned it earlier, but Nick Hall at first base, and it appears that Chris Amador has gone out to play center field. The rest of it all looks pretty much the same for the Collegians, with Isaac Parks coming in here on the hill. Nobody away, and the bases full of Frackers. They're down 7-1. 7 runs on 10 hits for the Collegians, run on 4 hits for Farmington. Parks just finishing the last of his warm-up pitches. So just a couple more left for Isaac Parks, and the runners back to their respective bases. It's Cedric Renaud on third base, on second Eddie Reyes, and at first Parker De Pascal. Renaud drew a hit by pitch, and it was a single for Reyes. He would later steal second base, and then Parker De Pascal drew a walk. Now it'll be Marquise Glenn. Glenn 1 for 2 on the day. He struck out and reached on a drop third strike, and then has singled and stolen a base. Chance to try and draw his team a little closer here. Farmington down 7-1. First pitch to Glenn, chopped foul down the first base line. Parks the righty here against Roselle, the left-handed batter. Big righty brings it home, and it's inside, and got a piece of Glenn, and that'll be a run. So Glenn gets hit, and in to score from third comes Renaud. And everybody moves up a base. So here's Bryce Beck, the left-handed batter. Another lefty after Glenn. And once again, I think the Collegians would trade a ground ball double play for a run here, as the middle infield is back in double play depth, though the third baseman Hollinger's playing in close to the cut of the grass. He's going to go home with it. This one misses low and outside to Beck. Still nobody away in the inning. Already 2 runs home for Farmington. The bullpen here trying to hold on to a magnificent start from Jake Olufsen. 1-0. There's a strike as it finds the black on the outside for strike 1. One pitch. There's a breaking ball that finds the zone, strike 2. 1-2 count on Bryce Beck. Beck has reached base twice today. He's doubled and walked. Critical situation here as things are starting to get late for the Frackers, down 7-2, with the bases loaded and nobody away. Parks ready. Here's his 1-2. Inside and fouled away. Beck went after ball 2, but he was able to poke it foul. So it'll remain at 1-2. Parks, when he has started, has only pitched a couple of innings at a time. The 1-2, that one way outside. Nice play behind the plate by Jimenez to save a run. Just seemed like it may have slipped out of the hands of Park as that one was well into the right-handed batter's box, and Jimenez had to dive after it. Two and two. And fouled right back to the screen. So it'll remain 2-2 here to Bryce Beck. Beck, one of many guys from Texas A&M, Texarkana. And he'll line one down the right field line. Richardson giving chase. He can't get there. It falls in. Having to hold on at third base to make sure he didn't catch it was the runner Reyes. Evo gets away, and in to score comes De Pascal as well. And all of a sudden, the Frackers are down by 3 with a tying run coming to the plate. An RBI single for Beck. Richardson played it on the hop, gave it a good chase, but just couldn't get there.
Third baseman, number 12, Cody McGaha.
The throw from Richardson, who we've seen throw a guy out or so this year, was just errant, wide up the line, and allowed a second run to come in. So a base hit could pull the Frackers within 1. Cody McGaha, the batter. He's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. First pitch is fouled away. Isaac Parks trying to work out of this inning. He came in with the bases loaded and no one away. Tough assignment for him, but still trying to record that first out. This one low and outside. Jimenez with another nice block to save a run. And it's 1-1. Tough day for McGaha so far. He could forget about all of that with a base hit right here. Parks a couple glances at the runner at third. Here's the pitch. Called a strike. Jimenez feinted a throw down to third, but just hangs on to it. 1-2 to McGaha. Isaac Parks would like nothing more than a strikeout right here. That one's low, 2-2. Glenn the runner at third. Beck at second. Glenn runs well, Beck not so much. 2-2, outside. So another full count here in the inning, this time to Cody McGaha. Last full count was to Parker De Pascal, whose walk loaded the bases. Another chance for that to happen here. Once again with no one away. 3-2 pitch from Parks. High pop-up. This one will drift back towards the screen. Jimenez gives it a glance, but it's out of play. So McGaha stays alive for the moment. Still 3-2. Have a look at who waits on deck. as the original leadoff hitter, Dalen Pigford, was pinch hit for. So we'll see if it's the same man, Cameron Stevenson, on to hit for him. Three-two pitch. That's ball 4. So Magaha draws the walk. And he is aboard with a free pass and doesn't move anyone around. His first base was open, but now the bases are loaded for Cameron Stevenson. Stevenson came on to pinch hit for Pigford in the 6th, and he flew out to the right fielder Richardson. And a conference at the mound with Isaac Parks.
Up to bat for the Frackers, number 36, Cameron Stevenson.
Mark Goodman, the assistant coach and pitching coach, out to talk to Parks. Goodman, a big emphasis on throwing strikes, even if that means hits. Strikes, strikes, strikes. And, well, the lack of strikes have hurt the Collegians here in the inning. 3 walks, 2 hit batsmen, a pair of singles, and it's pulled the Frackers within 3. And, not to mention, they have the bases loaded and no one away. And they're back to their top of the order in Cameron Stevenson. Though Stevenson was not the original leadoff hitter, he sits atop that order now. First pitch to him from Parks. Drifts across the plate for strike 1. There's a strike. 0-2. So Parks works ahead. A ground ball, a strikeout, any kind of out would do for Isaac Parks right here. The winning run in Magaha is at first, or excuse me, the winning run, the tying run in Magaha is at first, and he's going to hang on there as striking out is Cameron Stevenson. So now it'll be Luke Chung to try and drive in the run. So Parks finally records the first out of this inning. And that first out comes as the Frackers bat through the order. Chung, a left-handed batter against the righty Parks. Runners all across the bases. Here's the first pitch. And Chung takes a strike. Double play, the name of the game, I'm sure, here for Parks. Go ahead and run at the plate. Here's the 0-1. This one towards third. Hollinger up with it there. He'll go to home for 1. Jimenez back to first. They won't get the double play, but they do get the out at home. So no run in to score. And the bases remain loaded, but now with 2 away. It'll be Zach Reed, the batter. Reed drew a walk earlier on this inning after pinch hitting for Ethan Barker.
Number 13, Zach Reed.
Reed, a left-handed batter. Chance to try and make this one a little bit closer, heading into the real late innings of this one. First offering, chopped foul. Reed, a native of Colorado from Castle Pines. He played down at Chandler Junior College in Arizona. Chance to pull his team within 1. Perhaps more should he find a gap as this one's fouled away. So 0-2. So Parks is a strike away from working out of this still with the lead. Keep in mind, Isaac Parks came in with the bases loaded and no one away. Parks, an extended look in here. Now we'll step off and rethink this 0-2 pitch. Glenn, Beck, and Magaha around the bases for Farmington. Good speed at third, not so much the other two spots. 0-2. This one hit high in the air to right field. Richardson giving chase. He will run this one down just in front of the track. And the Collegians retain the lead here. Still 7-4, but we've got ourselves a ball game as we head to the 8th inning here from Farmington, New Mexico. Kyler Duggan's back to work on the mound for Farmington here in a whole new ball game, as went from a 7-0 blowout to now a pretty tight ball game, 7-4. Chris Jimenez will lead off the inning for Boulder. The Jimenez, Roselle, and Richardson in the inning. First pitch is called a strike against Chris Jimenez. Jimenez is 1 for 2 today. Also has a sac fly and a walk. 0-1. Just a little bit high to Chris. 0-2. Or 1-1. One on Jimenez. Nobody aboard and no one away here in the Collegian 8. And this one's high. Called a strike, 1-2. 7 runs on 10 hits for the Collegians. 4 runs on just 4 hits for Farmington. Though they got a couple of guys on walks and 2 guys hit by pitches in the last inning. 1-2. That's a low and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Jimenez. Chris trying to start an inning for the second inning in a row. Or not the second inning in a row, but for the second time in a row for him, as he drew a walk back in the 6th to begin that inning. We'll later come around to score that 1 run that the Collegians plated in the 6th. And now draws it full to 3-2. Duggan's ready. Here's his full count pitch. Swing and a miss by Jimenez. And the leadoff man gone on strikes to begin the inning for the Collegians.
Coming up now for the Collegians, shortstop, number 18. Brennan Rodell.
Pinch hitter on here, I believe, for Brendan Roselle. There's a strike. All I can tell you right now is it's certainly not Roselle up at the plate. That's 0-1. Bouncing well in front of the dish. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. All right, the pinch hitter on, no surprise, is Connor Kostecka. We saw him play shortstop against the Rough Riders on Tuesday from Biola College and Temecula, California. So it's Connor Kostecka, the pinch hitter, and a 1-1 count. Next offering to Kostecka is there for a strike. Breaking ball that fell in nicely. Kostecka trying to get aboard here as the Collegians find this one a little bit tighter, 7-4 as we play the 8th inning. 1-2, swing and a miss. So a pair of strikeouts to begin the inning here for Duggins. Duggins worked a nice 7th inning as he got the Collegians in order. That'll be Kelby Richardson. Richardson ran down a ball to end that 7th inning, preventing more runs from scoring. First pitch to the right fielder, called a strike. So Duggins works ahead once again. A 1 offering. There for strike 2. As far a very efficient inning for Duggins as he's worked all around the strike zone. Lefty Duggins sets. Here's his 0-2 pitch. In the dirt. First of a 3-game set between these Farmington Frackers and the Boulder Collegians. Game 2 will be tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Let me You can catch it right here on YouTube or Facebook Live, however you choose to watch your Collegians. 1-2. Hit high in the air. Back behind the infield. Calling for it and making the catch, falling to the ground is De Pascal, but he makes the grab, and the inning is over. So 7-4, we'll head to the bottom of 8. Frackers trying to add on some more when we come back. Isaac Parks will go back to work here in the 8th inning. He came on midway through the 7th. Well, not really midway if you count it by way of outs, as he came on with the bases loaded and no one away. But batters-wise, about midway through that 7th inning. So we'll go back to work here in the 8th. The Collegians up 7-4. Cedric Reynaud, the batter, watches one low for ball 1. Cedric came on to pinch hit in the 7th for Devin Ferrari. 1-0 is a breaking ball that dives too far outside, and it's 2-0. Renaud, his first time around, was hit by a pitch. And it's 3 balls and no strikes to Cedric. Farmington down by 3 here in the 8th inning. 3-0 count to Cedric Renaud. Parks brings it home, and he's hit again. So a slower walk down to first base by Renaud as he shakes his head. And, well, let me tell you, Cedric, there was no intention there with some jeering coming out of the dugout. This is a tight ball game, and there's no reason to put the leadoff man aboard. So Eddie Reyes the batter now, but you can understand his frustration being hit 2 innings in a row. But in him being hit, it brings the tying run onto the on-deck circle. And Eddie Reyes to the plate. Reyes in the 6th had an RBI single. And we'll have another single here at least. This one into the gap. First to third is Renaud. Reyes will make the turn at first, but wisely hang on as he would have been gunned by a mile at second base. But another base hit for Eddie Reyes. And now the tying run coming to the plate in Parker De Pascal.
Second baseman, number 2, 20, Parker De Pascal.
Here comes Mark Goodman. And Isaac Parks' evening is over. So another call to the bullpen here. Jake Olufsen gave him the 6 innings they wanted on the mound to begin the game. They didn't want to use too many guys out of the pen, but now this will be the 3rd guy they've used in only an inning and, well, sort of an inning and a third, but no out here in the 8th inning. So with runners at first and second, Parker De Pascal is the tying run, and he's been on base 2 out of the 3 times he's been to the plate. He's singled, grounded to third, and walked. Looks like it's John Kea on out of the bullpen for the Collegians. Kea pitched in that game against the Rough Riders. And if my memory serves me correctly, I believe he struck out the side in an inning. Yeah, he caught the final inning for that game in the 7th inning. It only went 7 because the Collegians were leading by, I believe, 13 at the time. And Kea struck out the side in order. So he wouldn't mind doing that again here with a tying run at the plate and no one away. Kea just wrapped up his senior year at Hawaii Hilo University, native of Hawaii, Honolulu to be exact. And Kea continues to loosen out there on the mound. One of the 2 returning Collegians this season, along with Joe Milano. Joe will pitch tomorrow. He'll start game 2. Reggie Paris will start the 3rd game. Joe didn't have a terrible outing in his first appearance for the Collegians, but he told me today he wants to have a better one here today, or here tomorrow. Said he just needs to focus up a little bit more on the mound, shake the rust off that he had coming out of the season. No, and it's not as rusty as perhaps the first game of the season, but you sat down for a while after the end of your season waiting for summer to get started. A little bit of that rust builds, and Milano was able to knock some of it off against Fort Collins, but looks to have a really excellent start tomorrow. Says he'll be totally focused in. So here's Parker De Pascal, the tying run. Runners at first and third. 7-4 Collegians lead it here in the 8th. Nobody away. John Kea trying to work out of it. First pitch from Kea. There for strike 1. Oh, 1 from Kea. Grounded towards short. Run will score. It goes off of the umpire, and everybody's going to be safe. Blue tried to get out of the way of it, but just could not. And, well, the rule is the umpire is part of the field. They do their best to get out of the way, but on a ground ball like that, just nowhere for him to go. So the run comes into score. And now runners at first and second, and still no one away. The Collegians, the run would have come in, but at least they would have gotten the out. But Doug Pascal down to first. He is safe on an infield hit. Here comes Marquise Glenn once again. Glenn has driven one run back in the 7th. He's been on base twice. He drove in that run by being hit by a pitch with the bases loaded. And now comes up with the bases loaded once again. And he is the go-ahead run. First pitch is high, ball 1. So 1-0 here to Glenn. 1-0 swing and a miss. Good pitch from Kea. Took him out of the zone, and Glenn obliged. Bases full of Frackers. The tying run at first, the leading go-ahead run at the plate here in the 8th. John Kea trying to work out of a sticky situation. None of the runners except for that runner, Pascal, at first, charged to him. This one flown down the left field line. Hollinger will give it a look, but it's off the screen and out of play. Collegians were leading by 6 for most of this ballgame. Struck for an extra one back in the 6th inning. But then it was a 4-run 7th inning for these Frackers, and they're right back in it. And a chance to add on even more here with the bases loaded and no one away. 1-2 from Kea. And it's inside and low to Glenn. And we'll run even 2-2. Two count to Marquise Glenn. John Kea taking some extended time to look in. This is a big pitch right here. Comes set, kicks and fires. Grounded towards second. Farrell to his left. Picks it up, throw to first is off the line, and it's towards the dugout. Didn't go into it. 1 run scores, 2 run scores, and the other 2 runners going to move up. So it's second and third with 2 runs in. The winning run, or the tying run just 90 feet away now. The throw pulled Hall off the bag. He couldn't corral it, and unfortunately, it bounced off the netting of the dugout. As had it hit that netting, well, had it gone in, it would have been the same situation. So it matters very little whether it went in or did not. As it'll be second and third. Now the score 7-6. Hold on. I'm going to watch it back and watch that. Did he tag him? Swing and a miss there from Bryce Beck. Oh, 1 on Bryce Beck. Runners at second and third. Still no one away. 7-6 ball game. Kea brings it home. There's a strike. Again, 0-2, or 1-1. Yeah, no, that's 0-2. The scoreboard incorrect. We had it right up here. 0-2 here to Bryce Beck. Kea needs a strikeout here in the worst way. Tying run is at third. Go-ahead run at second base. 0-2. Swing and a miss. So John Kea able to strike out Bryce Beck. It's the first out of the inning. But the Collegians still in deep trouble. Up by only one, and runners at second and third for Cody Magaha. Magaha, a recipient of a walk back in the 7th inning. Other than that, he's 0 for 2. Swing grounded towards first. Nice pickup there by Hall. He'll tag first for one. Throw to the plate is not in time, and it's a tie game here in Farmington. Fine play by Hall, who got the out at first and then gunned it home, but Reyes just too fast, and he's in to score.
Coming up for the Frackers, number 36, Cameron Stevenson.
So all even here from Ricketts Park in Farmington, New Mexico. A 6-run lead, later made a 7-run lead by the Collegians, has evaporated. And they're still in danger of losing it completely here at the runner at third and 2 away. First pitch to Cameron Stevenson, missed, ball 1. One balls and no strikes. Or rather, that was called a strike. My apologies. 0-1. So Kea works ahead with Marquise Glenn at third base. This one fouled back to the screen. Bottom of 8. Farmington has roared back here with 4 runs in the 7th and 3 in the 8th. Runner at third, 2 away. 0-2 to Cameron Stevenson. Pitch, swing, and a miss. So this game will remain tied as Marquise Glenn was stranded at third base. But the Collegians need to answer back here as they come up to bat in the 9th and hopefully final inning. But we'll see with the game tied 7-7 here in Farmington. Gavin Mestis comes on into a whole new ball game here in inning number 9, 7-7 here in Farmington, New Mexico, where the Frackers have roared back to tie this one here against the Boulder Collegians. The Collegians going to have to go to work on the bats now, as they've only scored 1 run since the second inning. And it will all start with Logan Coward. Coward on for Nick Arrivo.
Number 8, Logan Howard.
And he'll try and start it off. And takes a strike. Oh, 1 delivery. Cowart. That one missed outside. So 1 balls and 1 strikes to Logan Cowart. Cowart from Corinth, Texas. Watches this one low and in the dirt. Logan can kind of play all over the field. Second, short, and third base, and also left field. That's where he comes in for Arrivo. 2-1 coming from Mestis, and it's fouled away. Cowart will be followed by his doppelganger, Jimmy Hollinger. They both have the flow going, and should be Kix Farrell, barring a pinch hitter. Tied at 7 here in the 9th. 2-2. Called strike 3. Cowart was dusting off his cleats, thinking he had another pitch to work with, but not the case, as he's gone on strikes. So now Jimmy Hollinger will have to try and get something started. Hollinger an 0 for 3 affair. He's walked, flown out, struck out, and grounded out. Collegians need him on base in the worst way here. He flies this one high in the air, back behind first base. Settling under it and making the grab is Beck. Now it'll be Kix Farrell. Farrell has had a solid game so far. 2 for 4. Pair of RBIs for Kix as well. Mestis sets and brings it home. High leg kick and delivers a strike. Mestis from Colorado, so he's a local guy in some senses, but not in others, as he's from Durango, which is closer here than it is to Boulder. The 0-1 pitch, and in the dirt. Mestis taking his talents further west for college balls. He plays for Southwestern California. 1-1 pitch. There for strike 2. It seems as though the Collegians are watching an awful lot of strikes here these past few innings. And they haven't had many runs to show for it. 1-2 count here to Kix Farrell. Mestis brings it home, and it's just inside. Farrell had to pull the hands out of the way. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Chris Amador would be next. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, and the count runs full on Kix, 3-2. Other news for the Collegians here, being in a close game late in the game, is they brought in quite a few of different guys who weren't starters to get them some work, being up by 7 runs. And now all of a sudden those guys have to play in a tight situation. 3-2. That's ball 4. The good news for the Collegians with that is that a lot of these guys who came in have been starters in other ball games, just not here tonight. Amador, whenever there's a doubleheader, usually plays center field in the second game. He's DH'd as well in a couple of games. And then for Costeca, he was the starting shortstop before the arrival of Brendan Roselle. So he has starting chops as well. Cowart, who came in for a revo, has started many games for the Collegians. Additionally, that all goes to say that the Collegians have guys who can get it done here, despite there being many substitutions. 0-1 count on Amador as he took a strike. Amador's 0 for 1 today. He's also drawn a walk. 0-1 pitch. That one's in the dirt and will get away. Farrell will move up to second, so now that go-ahead run is in scoring position for Chris Amador. Goes back. We talked about it. 2 out walks will kill you because all of a sudden you're so close to being out of the inning, and now the go-ahead run is in scoring position and is 1 hit away from giving the Collegians the lead. 1-1 on Chris Amador. Chris, a California kid from Maricopa. Took his talents to Arizona, to Coach East to be exact, to play college ball. And he'll take a high strike there. Amador thought it was outside at high, but it's strike 2. 1-2 the count. Runner at second. Collegians tied with the Farmington Frackers at 7 here in the 9th inning. Gavin Mestis trying to keep this game right where it is. Give his team a chance to walk it off here in the bottom half. Amador, a few spins of the bat. Now ready to go. The 1-2 pitch. Oh, just off the outside corner. And I'm not sure how Amador took that pitch, but he did. And it's 2-2. Farrell at second, about an average runner. 2-2. That's high. 3-2 now to Amador, with Hunter Hudson waiting on deck. First base is open. They're going to try and go get Amador right here. Looking from Mestis. 3-2 pitch. Back up the middle. Mestis has some trouble with it on the mound, but he'll pick it up and make the underhanded flip to first. Well, the PFPs come back to pay off for Mestis. And now it is tied at 7. We head to the bottom of 9. Chance for the Farmington Frackers to walk it off here on their opening night when we come back. Bottom of the 9th. And the Farmington Frackers on opening night, a chance to win this one right here. That'll be John Kea still on to try and stop them from doing so. It'll be his first chance to work with the bases cleared tonight as he came on midway through that 8th inning. Had that ball that hit the umpire behind him, an error. And other than that, struck 2 guys out. So none of that really his fault that went on. This one fouled away. And it's 0-1 on Luke Chung. Chung, a tough day out of that 2-hole. He's 0 for 4. Oh, 1 from Kea, and it's low. Chung will be followed by Zach Reed and Cedric Raynaud. 1-1 from the Hawaiian, missed inside and low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Collegians have out hit the Frackers 10-6, but it is an error, a costly infield hit off the umpire, and a number of free passes and hit by pitches that have allowed this team to tie it up. This one fouled away, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Luke Chung. Chung has yet to strike out today, but he's only been in 1 2-strike count. Okay, trying to hold it here in the 9th. Getting this guy would go a long way to doing that. 2-2 pitch. That's lined at the third baseman. Making the catch is Hollinger, and that's the first out. Was a soft line drive. Trying to go inside out was Chung, and Hollinger was right there for it. So here's Zach Reed. Reed came on to pitch hit in the 7th. Drew a walk. And then flew out to right as he hit twice in the inning. Okay, ready? Here's the pitch. Just off the block on the outside for ball 1. Apologize, let me correct myself. Reed is 0 for 1. He's drawn a walk and flown out. 1-0 is high. 2 balls and no strikes to Zach Reed. Two-0 count. 7-7 ball game here in the bottom of the 9th. Reed will watch one outside and again, 3-0. Okay, I thought that one skimmed the black, but it was outside. Reed trying to get on base here. 1 down and a 3-0 count. There's a strike from Kea. So he moves back to the inside part of the pitch plate on that pitch, and it's 3-1. Swing and a miss by Reed, and the count runs full. Now 3-2. Cedric Raynaud is next. Okay, ready? Here's the pitch. Chop towards third, down the line. That is a foul ball. So it'll remain 3-2. We'll do it again. Reed back into that left-handed batter's box. Kea back ready to go on the mound. Kea working out of the stretch exclusively, brings it home. This one fouled away. So staying alive here is Zach Reed. He worked it to 3-0, but Kea came back to make it a full count, and 2 foul balls since then have made this a 7-pitch at-bat. So an extended at-bat for Reed. Trying to get aboard here as he is the winning run. The 3-2 from Kea. Ball 4. Missed inside and low with it, and Reed is aboard. So it's Reed's second free pass in only 3 at-bats. And the winning run moves down to first. Cedric Reynaud, the batter now.
Up to bat for the Frackers, number 19, Cedric Reynaud.
Reynaud pinch hit for Devin Ferrari back in the 7th inning and has been hit by a pitch twice. First offering, there for a strike. Both of the times that Reynaud has been beaned, he's scored. In those 2 big innings for Farmington, 3 hit batsmen. One missed inside, a feint down to first from Jimenez, just trying to keep the runner close. 1 ball and 1 strike to Cedric Reynaud. This game well over 3 hours old. One pitch. And in the dirt, blocked by Jimenez. Fortunately for Chris, who's had to catch for those 3 hours and many pitches with all the runs that have been scored, there are plenty of catchers on the roster one of which will get the start tomorrow behind the plate. My bet would be on Hunter Hudson, but we'll see. 2-1 on Cedric Reynaud. Here's the pitch. And I'm not sure where that one missed. Perhaps inside. It's 3-1. Okay, I'm not finding much success on that side of the plate. Three balls and 1 strike to Reynaud. A walk here would move the winning run into scoring position, and it will do just that. So 2 walks in a row after getting the first out for John Kea, and the winning run is only 180 feet away. So Jimenez will go on to talk to Kea. I'm not sure if anyone's up in that Collegians bullpen, but my best guess is this is Kea's inning. The Collegians, after all, don't have an off day till Thursday and need to save some of that bullpen for these next 2 games. Well, I shouldn't say that. They do have an off day Sunday, but it's a travel day. So they do have 1 day to rest the guys, but still, a 3-game, 9-inning series, they need everyone on deck, especially having used a couple of bullpen arms already tonight. So it'll be Eddie Reyes, a chance to win this one in the 9th. Reyes already 2 hits. 2 big hits in these 2 big innings. Chopper towards third. It'll be cut off. Throw to second is not in time. Safe at second base is the runner, Reynaud. Kicks Farrell. Can't believe it, and I can't say I blame him. It looked like they had him out there. Here comes Coach Toledo. Everybody is safe. Still only 1 away, and the bases are loaded. The third baseman, Hollinger, tried to go the short way to second. Not a bad idea. But it wasn't there in time. Parker De Pascali, the batter now. He also has had 2 big at-bats in these 2 big innings, the 2 past big innings for the Frackers. He drew a walk, got an infield hit. That one coming off of the umpire. And here comes Coach Danny David Littlehand out of that first base dugout. So I wonder what Danny David has to say. He's kind of the motivational guy on the team. And so probably trying to fire the guys up here as they need 2 outs with the bases loaded. No room for error right here. Opening night for the Frackers, and they've got a chance to win it. Zach Reed resides at third. He's the winning run. Cedric Raynaud at second, and Eddie Reyes at first. It was a line-out to begin the inning for John Kea, but then 2 free passes and a failed fielder's choice have loaded the bases. And Parker De Pascali has a chance to win it. De Pascali today, 2 for 3 with a walk. He's scored 2 runs. Runners away from their bases. Infield is in for the Collegians. And De Pascali pops this one high towards the dugout, down the first base line, and it's out of play. No balls and a strike to Parker De Pascali. The junior sets in the batter's box here, moving into his senior year now. Kea ready. Here's the 0-1. Fouled away. No balls and 2 strikes. Collegians aren't even thinking about the double play. The whole infield is in, as is the outfield. Though with the runner at third, I'm not sure how much good it would do. Other than on a sac fly, perhaps they'll be able to nab him. But a base hit would win it. 0-2 count. Kea nods yes to his sign. Here's the pitch. Up and in around the dome, and it's 1-2. Seven game here from Ricketts Park. Bases full of Frackers. Parker De Pascali a chance to win it. 1-2 count. Kea ready. Here's the pitch. This one popped high in the air, out towards left. Cowart coming in towards the infield, makes the grab. Oh no, he can't make the catch. It gets by him. The run will score. The ball game is over. The Farmington Frackers have won this game here in the 9th inning. A pop-up just beyond the infield. Cowart trying to come in on it. Couldn't make the grab. He was too worried about the throw. And the Frackers have won it here in the 9th. Parker De Pascali hit that ball about 2,000 feet, but only up in the air. But it results in a base knock as Cowart never got a piece of it. And the Frackers win it here on opening night. So that one will go down in memory as a hard drive out to left field that won the ball game, though it barely got beyond the dirt. And not to mention that it was a pretty close play at the plate. With the ball would have been a pretty close play at the plate, but the ball got beyond Cowart behind him, and he had no chance to throw out Reed, who was, of course, residing on third with the big pop-up. Now, the story of this ball game is not that run, I should say, in the 9th. It comes in the 7th and the 8th, a 4-run 7th and a 3-run 8th for the Frackers, who just never gave up, and the Collegians assisted them along with plenty of free passes and a couple of hits batsmen. So the Collegians fall here. They get 7 runs on 10 hits, 8 runs on 7 hits for the Frackers, and that just gives you an idea of just how much they were led on base. The Collegians will have another crack at it tomorrow. Same game time, 7 o'clock. It'll be right here on your usual places, YouTube, Facebook Live, however you choose to watch. But the Collegians fall here 8-7, and that will just about do it for us tonight. For everyone here at the Boulder Collegians, alongside cameraman Jack Carlo and producer Mitch Sanchez, I'm Ethan Jordan saying so long from Ricketts Park. We'll talk to you tomorrow.